This episode of the Giant Bombcast is brought to you in part by Lisa. Lisa's mission is to provide a better night's sleep for everybody. With over 30 years of experience and hundreds of hours of testing, Lisa has developed the perfect mattress for all body shapes and sleeping styles. Give yourself the gift of a better night's rest this holiday. Get $160 off a Lisa mattress at lisa.com/bombcast and use promo code BOMBCAST at checkout. That's LEESA.com/bombcast, promo code BOMBCAST. What's up, everybody? Hi, it's Tuesday. What is it? It's 18th.
18th.
1 and 8.
Yeah.
8. Yes.
Yes. December 18th, 2018. This is the Giant Bombcast, your final normal Giant Bombcast for 2018.
Oh, thank God we made it.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one's gonna be normal.
That's right.
Yeah.
This is the normal one.
This is the default one.
Yeah. Recording a normal one here. I'm Jeff Gerstmann. Brad Shoemaker is on assignment. And Ben Pack, Jason A. Striker.
Hello,
here with
hello.
me. Hello.
Hi.
Jan
Hello.
down there.
Hello.
Running it.
Yes.
Running it.
Running it like
Thank you for
Running that shit.
introducing us. I forget who you guys are sometimes.
Seriously.
Yeah, no, it's especially like this front part of the week. Like I've had a couple of days out of the office and working from home doing stuff, and then I get in and it's like, who the fuck are these fucking people?
Morning, tall guy.
Hey, other tall
Morning.
guy.
Hey.
Morning, John.
that guy's
Jeff?
sitting over there now. I don't. Who's,
Yeah.
Dax.
That's-
No.
Yeah, Jan,
Yes,
the wrestling pay-per-view was local.
it was.
I understand you
Oh,
went.
wow.
I went.
Yeah,
I got there late because I picked up a homie from the airport,
Mhm.
but I did not miss much.
yeah.
um,
Some could have said you could have just hung out of the airport and
Yeah.
maybe missed like one match.
just
two
watch
matches.
it on like the network.
Yeah,
The half that I did catch.
yeah.
Fantastic.
Cool.
Okay.
I was bummed I missed the Natty and Ruby Riott match just because I like tables.
Yeah,
But I really think they got to stop naming pay-per-views after gimmick matches.
totally.
Because then you just expect everything to have a
what
gimmick.
the fuck is a chairs match?
Oh, I can take that one.
Okay,
It's,
yes, go
you got 4 people in the ring, and you got 3 chairs, and they start playing the music.
Uh-huh.
And they run around the chairs,
Yeah,
and then when they
okay.
stop the music, everyone has to pick it up a chair and hit somebody else.
Now,
with
see,
it.
if
Whoever
they,
doesn't
if
get a
they
chair
had
loses.
explained that, I think it would have made a lot more sense.
I shit you not, when I went to the bathroom during the chairs match, because that was my bathroom break,
Yep.
I heard a little kid ask his mom, "Mom, are they just playing musical chairs in the ring?"
Yes. Yes.
And then that would have been
Son.
way better than
And
just
then-
like, here's a match where you can use chairs. So it's no disqualification. Like kind of just like you can kind of use whatever, but like you're compelled to use chairs because it's a chairs match.
Right.
It's just
But
yeah.
that sledgehammer, no.
absolutely,
no.
absolutely not.
Do not touch
No.
the stairs.
Yeah.
Put that
No
table
stairs.
down.
It is not a stairs match.
Mm-mm.
That's stairs.
That's
Those,
coming in 3
yeah,
matches.
the stairs. Yeah.
Who won?
Who won what? The whole thing?
The big event.
Or, the fans did.
That's right. The new authority.
That's certainly not true.
I don't know the Daniel Bryan AJ Styles match seemed good.
Yes. Yes.
And I like Asuka, so
I love her. I'm glad that
she's the best.
she's credible again.
Yep.
She's no longer in a
How
weird
long-
tag team.
Yeah.
How long
weird.
has Daniel Bryan been back in the mix?
This
8
year?
months this
Yeah,
year.
okay.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, he's been back. He's a bad guy now on the
Ooh.
on the platform of you people and your wastefulness.
Oh, he's like a
Wasteful. Oh,
Is
he-
he?
Yeah,
serious?
because
Yeah.
he's a vegan. He always was,
Uh-huh.
and now they're just like that's his character.
Good.
Is just like fucking. Like they
Okay.
recorded this thing. I saw it after the fact, but they dropped it into like some kind of. It was a promo for the pay-per-view that like
Okay.
these two just faces. I don't know who the fuck they were hosting this thing wearing sweatshirts, and he just walks onto it and is just like, I'm not here to sell merchandise.
Oh no.
This wasteful, just like they want me to just, like, yeah, it was just like this whole anti-consumer thing that was like a really good. It was really good. It was really good.
I mean, that's kind of his character, sure.
And
Okay.
that is his, yeah, and he vowed that if he won this match, he was going to replace the leather on the title belt with an alternative.
Okay,
fantastic.
all right.
Which, yeah, so
All
like
right.
that's
Fantastic.
that's where that character needs to go. It's very much like when CM Punk was like, I'm straight edge and that makes me better than you type stuff. It reminds me of that a little bit.
Too many matches on the card.
Oh, yeah, man.
What's
like,
new?
Like Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose, you would be hyped for that match, but then you realize it's like, Shield member versus Shield member 32 or 33.
In like
I've done that a few times.
in like an intensely boring match.
I was not expecting the crowd to chant, "This is boring."
They literally apologized for it last night on TV.
How so?
Like, dude, so they've had their lowest ratings in the history of the program this last month or so.
Yeah.
It's been an abysmal 3 hours of television.
Exciting.
People are comparing it to when WCW was on its like way out.
Yeah.
And like programming,
just fucking garbage. But also, like, they started having a storyline that was like, you're responsible for the ratings being bad. Like, just playing into it in a very WCW sort of way that would be like, this is embarrassing on top of embarrassing now.
Wow.
And so they fucking started their Monday night show last night. Like, they had to tease it. They said, like, Vince McMahon's coming back to Monday Night Raw, and he's going to shake things up. And you're just like, fucking what the fuck ever.
Yeah.
And it's like it's a ratings ripcord they pull whenever they like, oh, we got to put the McMahons on the show, which is always like the saddest statement about like
wheel them out.
And I mean, because that's like that is the most meta thing you can latch on to.
Yeah.
Just because they're probably sadly the most recognizable names in wrestling.
And that's like the problem is that they haven't really been good at making huge stars the way that they sometimes are. You know, there's no next John Cena.
Right. There's no Rock.
There's no next. Yeah, exactly. So it's like everyone is kind of in the middle and you know, it's like everyone likes someone different and all that. But like, you're not going to sit through 3 hours to watch the one match you like.
Right.
Yeah.
You're just going to like hear about it after the fact. Like, it's all forgettable stuff. So they start the show by having Vince McMahon come out, and then he calls out, you know, Stephanie McMahon and Shane McMahon and Triple H.
All
and
the
it's
kids.
like, oh, wow, all the McMahons are here. And then they proceed to kind of halfway apologize for the state of the show.
Wow.
And say, like...
And this is at the top of the
this
show?
Is at the very beginning of the show.
Hey, we know everything's been shit, and this one's probably also going to be shit because we haven't enough time to fix it.
Exactly, yeah. So they pretty much say in the coming weeks you're going to see new matchups and new faces and new characters and new this and new that.
Holy shit.
And it's this halfway admission from like Vince McMahon himself saying like, I can't really do it alone. But then calling out those three people who have all been there for decades.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like, you know, well, Shane came and went, whatever.
Sure.
Fucking, they changed jack shit.
Like,
and came out and oh man. So
Jeff, are we all in this together?
so they came out and said like, we're gonna do, you're the authority now, the fans, you're the ones calling the shots, we're gonna listen to you. And then they proceeded to have this guy Baron Corbin, who's like a fine young wrestler, like whatever. They put him in the role of he is the figurehead authority figure for the Monday Night Show for Raw. And so he makes the matches and blah, blah, blah. And he's a bad guy because the person in charge is typically a bad guy.
Yeah.
So he's helping his friends and fucking over the good guys. And they called him out and then had a bunch of people kick his ass in this symbolic, like, so it became part of this ongoing storyline of like, we're changing everything. Now we're going to do the same fucking hokey shit we've been relying on for decades and have a bunch of people come out and beat up the authority figure as a way to send him off. And it's just like, it's
Baron
fucking
Corbin.
embarrassing.
Yeah, and of course, one of the first people they have to beat up Baron Corbin is like one of the most recognizable names, Kurt Angle.
Right.
Yeah, let's have like a 50-year-old beat up this dude.
Exactly. Yeah. Because
he's an Olympian.
Yeah. Well, he was the authority figure before that, and then he got scred over. So it's like him getting his revenge or whatever the fuck.
Finally.
In a lot of choices were made, but like, and then for the rest of the show, you have the announcers saying like, "This is the new era. Look at all these changes. It's so different."
You can't just say it's a new era.
Exactly. That is, but that is exactly what they did.
Yeah.
And I guess they're not live next week because it's Christmas.
Sure.
And so they recorded 2 shows back to back. And well, I guess I won't spoil the fucking matches of next week's show, but I read what that stuff was and heard the report about what it is.
It seems like,
and like
it's the new age, right?
It's the exact same fucking shit.
Wait, so they recorded 6 hours?
Totally.
Oh my
Imagine
God.
being in that audience and fucking sitting down for
Jesus.
that 6 hours of television. Who
No.
the fuck would do that?
No.
Has Santa ever wrestled?
Yeah, no. Stone Cold gave
Oh,
Santa a stunner at one point.
yeah.
They,
Mark
uh,
Henry was Santa
yeah.
at one point.
Okay.
Balls Mahoney played Xanta Claus with an X instead of an S, I believe. Is that right?
Yes.
Um,
But that TLC match at the end, amazing.
That was good.
Yes.
Who was it?
yeah.
Charlotte, Becky, and Asuka.
Damn.
Like pretty predictable. Well, I guess I didn't necessarily predict the actual ending, but I figured Asuka was going to win
Yes.
at that point because
Yeah.
it's the thing you wouldn't expect, and it frees up the other two to get into this Ronda Rousey shit that they need to build to WrestleMania for.
I was dreading that Nia would come in
Yeah,
and
right.
actually break someone's face the whole
yeah,
time.
fuck. Like, just it's been some fucking rough television. But
I've been
enough.
out for a while, and I guess I guess I should. Be
It
lucky.
has been some of the roughest. Like,
Oh no.
I've watched wrestling off and on for a very long time.
Yeah,
it
same.
is some of the worst lately. It is some of the worst TV.
I can't deal with
SmackDown
it.
has been
Like,
okay.
yes, yeah,
Yes.
there have been parts about SmackDown that have been okay, but it's
Yeah.
still this general malaise of just
Mhm.
like none of this is stuff you need to see or
Right.
care about
Right.
or
Mhm.
or anything.
Here's
Some
what
of
they
them-
need to do.
Okay.
They need to. Okay.
All right, this is. I mean, you are now in charge of these
Yes.
shows.
All right,
like
great.
we
Yeah.
are the
Does that
booking
mean I'm a
committee.
bad guy?
No,
Yeah.
no, no.
Well, yeah. So when the ratings don't improve,
I'm gonna get my
Vince
ass kicked
McMahon
like
will
Kurt
come
Angle.
out and say, "Hey, we put this on you.
Kurt Angle's gonna
just
come
listening
through
to
this
you." Yes.
door.
And then Kurt Angle's gonna fucking do 3 German suplexes to you. I would, yeah, you're pretty tall. I would like to watch that.
Yeah.
Okay. Love it or hate it, Game of Thrones has changed how TV works. A lot of people come into these prestige television shows and expect the unexpected, right?
Yep.
Big deaths, just like, and that's kind of bled out into a lot of other shows. Like, no character is safe at any time.
Right.
They just need to start killing off wrestlers.
Killing
Oh
wrestlers.
yeah.
I actually, so I think that the
I
thing
mean, they do a pretty good job of that themselves, but
Killing careers. Yeah.
yeah. So it just takes the years for them
Right.
to kind of bleed out.
Just like get more of them and start killing them off.
Well,
They-
so
Okay.
they announced
Nobody's
6 new
safe.
people coming to the roster as
Horrible.
if that will fix it. They have
No.
so many people, so many talented people. Like throw 6 more people into the mix and then not put them on that much
Yeah.
either. Like it's
I was heavy into NXT for a long time.
Yeah,
because I
yeah.
really like the
Yeah.
the matches that they portray, the actual wrestling I'm
Sure.
into. Then they bring them up to the main roster, and then they just completely squander their talents.
Pretty
And
much.
That's actually why I went out. But it seems like they're doing a lot more of that. Are
Yeah.
people like now wanting to go back to NXT?
There's been some talk about like, hey, maybe we'll kind of cross this a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, like have this
Wow.
be a little more of a fluid thing.
Sure.
And what Tyler Breeze,
Tyler Breeze went back.
Yeah, he went back for a
Okay.
little bit and then just showed up on TV
Yeah, because
yesterday.
they did nothing with him when he came up.
Right.
Man.
Well,
Oh,
they,
that was
they did.
disappointing.
They were doing the fashion police thing.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And like that was, whatever. That was good shit.
Yeah.
It's not like main event stuff. Like it, but
Sure.
like
Perfect mid card.
yeah,
Filler for the show.
well, yeah.
Yeah.
Like you have to have a spot for everybody.
Of course.
Totally.
And they have too many people. So actually, I think what you're saying about killing off characters, they should probably actually fire about a third of their roster.
Yeah. Instead of acquiring
and-
half of
yeah.
the indie
Yeah.
wrestling market.
Exactly. Or start another television show on that's
No,
only on the
no, no,
network.
no,
that's
there's
too
like
much wrestling
and,
already.
No, and it's just like put people over there. It's like, hey, if you want to see this type of wrestling, we got this. If you want to see this type of wrestling, this one, everyone is like it takes place in a cage and it's MMA like. In this one,
all
it's
chairs all the time.
exactly. Sure. Why
The
not?
Chair zone.
Why not?
What about Slam Ball?
What about
What
slam
about
ball?
about slam ball?
Body slam ball.
Yeah.
You know?
Ooh.
Like,
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, they're busy with the XFL, so maybe once that takes off,
Oh,
we
yeah,
can
that's
get
where the
slam ball
roster-
back in the
Fuck,
mix.
man. God.
We didn't get a team.
We don't. Yeah, good.
There's no San Francisco slam or XFL team.
No, yeah. We lost
There
out.
was last
Yeah.
time,
Yeah.
and it didn't work out. So,
What's the closest thing we got? Who are we latching on to? LA.
is there a Las Vegas team?
I think there's a Vegas team.
It's
Seems
got to
like-
be a
Yeah,
Vegas.
it seems like
team.
there would
Yeah.
be
There has to be another LA team.
sleazy fucking football. Oh my god.
Can't wait.
Anyway, hi.
The X stands for extreme.
Oh, okay. Oh, wait a minute. I'm back on board now.
I thought it was something completely different.
Xerox.
Yeah. Like it was a sponsored thing. No.
No.
Exclusively
lot of-
standing for the anthem. Is that what it stands for?
Yeah.
Oh god.
If you guys can't tell, not a lot of video games come out here.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I saw that Jan had gone to that show and had to
It was good. It was a good time.
cool.
had to talk a little bit about
How much
Yeah.
is going to a wrestling show running you up?
It depends. Like normally
if
day of
you
you
getting
can
some
get
snacks and stuff too. How much for the whole night?
Okay, so here was my problem. For whatever reason, the San Jose Arena, there was no people coming through the aisle selling cotton candy or lemonade or ice cream. And then just where we were sitting with my friends, we were kind of like crammed into an aisle that'd be super awkward. And I hate doing the thing where you're getting up midway through the show. It's like, oh, excuse me. Sorry. Oh, hey, thanks, man. Cool. Where you're standing and climbing over people.
Yeah.
So I didn't get a snack the whole time.
Okay.
You know, we came late, so I didn't want to miss any more of the show. But there was no concession stand workers just selling anything.
Weird.
That was my biggest beef.
Even they were bored. They were just like,
they were like,
Do they I'm trying to think if they normally do that at wrestling shows. If there are people walking the
like
stands, like I guess it's been
Oakland,
so long since I've been to a show.
Yeah, in Oakland, like there'll be like a churro cotton candy dude.
Yeah.
But
and I've been to the San Jose Arena. They've had concession stand workers before. I don't know.
It's funny. I just realized this weekend while Jan was watching wrestling, I also went and saw a show featuring lots of shirtless, glistening men doing flips on top of each other.
And how was the storyline?
Actually, unfollowable.
Great.
And
okay.
very confusing.
Yeah. Well, then.
I saw Cirque du Soleil. I saw the new Cirque du Soleil. I don't want to talk a lot about it. But
who is the face of Cirque du Soleil?
I don't want you to spoil it.
It's Ninja. The main dude that the plot revolved around looked exactly like Ninja.
Oh, okay.
And he had the blue hair. He had people chasing him around with cell phones. Like a lot of the plot was about him trying to escape away from people with cell phones, and then also BMXing.
Okay. Yeah. BMXing is cool.
It was. I don't know why Ninja was the Cirque du Soleil guy. I don't think
Was it like?
there was no
actually-
chances on purpose.
Yeah.
But he fucking looked just like Ninja, and they were all chasing him around with cell phones, wanting selfies with him. Selfies are bad.
Okay.
by the
Like
way.
selfies are bad. Okay.
Selfies are bad.
I
According
mean,
to Cirque du Soleil.
I can. That's a take. I don't know. I'm largely indifferent about selfies.
Were there chairs at Cirque du Soleil, like the performers?
Yeah, there were some chair stunts. The coolest one was like they had this big trampoline that they would spin around and have people jump and wall run. There was a lot of wall running.
Okay,
cool.
so some straight up parkour.
Yeah.
All right.
That was pretty cool and made me want to play some more Titanfall.
Great. Titanfall's back, and Cirque du Soleil did it.
And we even had people walking up and down trying to sell
bummer.
snacks. So
Oh, weird.
WrestleMania needs to learn a thing or two. They have it's the first time I've ever seen these, but hot cans.
Okay.
It was just like a little, the thing next.
Tell me more about your hot can.
So my hot cans
But hot
are
cans.
burning.
Okay.
The thing at like Safeway between the aisles that have your Cokes and Mountain Dews in them, so you can grab them cold.
Oh
right
yeah,
after.
yeah.
Sure.
So they had that, but with hot. It was hot, and there were cans of coffee inside that were hot,
Ooh.
Oh, weird.
canned coffee.
I like this.
And I liked it too after I realized what it was, because I reached in. I'm like, oh, a nice iced coffee, and I just reached in. They should
opposite
really
of
have
hot.
a sign
Yeah, it
on
says
that thing that
caution,
says this
hot.
is, because it's even like blue on the inside. It looks exactly like one
yeah.
of those things, but it's hot.
It needs to be red.
It needs to be
Universal
red.
symbol
It needs
for
to be
this
red.
shit is hot.
Or explosive, or you can shoot
yeah,
this and
right.
it will
Yes.
explode.
I bet if you shot that, it would do something. I don't know. I mean, something's got to keep it hot, right?
That's right.
It's got to be a propane tank somewhere.
See, I thought you were going to say that someone was walking around the aisle selling soup with like some hot cans, like just pouring out some chili.
Yeah.
Hell
Soup
yeah.
man, get your soup.
Get
Hot
soup
cans!
Bring your own bread ball.
More like soup de Soleil. I'm fucking in.
Oh my god.
So what was the name of this Cirque du Soleil show?
Volta.
Volta. Okay. All right. Well, I saw Mystère and I saw O.
Oh?
Sandra
yeah.
Oh?
You don't
Yeah,
say.
Sandra Oh, the star of Cirque du Soleil's O. I saw and the Blue Man Group. Those are all the shows I saw of
I've
that
seen Blue
caliber. All of them, because the video game industry used to throw a lot of
Oh,
events in
yeah.
Las Vegas,
Sure. Oh,
and
sure.
I saw a lot of those shows.
I tweeted this out, but it really was just the human version of Tetris Effect. The songs that were playing were straight out of it was just some world.
Oh yeah, just like some
trance-ass
world music ass
music,
fucking.
as
We gotta
people
be
are, like,
together, man.
fitting into each other. I'm like,
Oh
this
wait,
is just
okay.
a
This
dramatic
sounds
interpretation
now
of
sounds
Tetris
this
Effect.
now sounds hot. How much actual fucking was there during this show?
Backstage, I guarantee you there was some fucking going on.
Great.
There was some tension there between those. Especially there was like these two guys who were just like flipping around on strings. I don't know what happened, man. I kind of just let
Just
the
let it
Cirque
happen
take
to you.
over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let it all wash over you, for sure.
Hot.
Just like the year in video games. which is damn near over.
Yeah.
Not a lot of new releases.
Going out with a bang, though.
Yeah, it seems like there was a pile of stuff here. You've been playing a little bit of Below, have you not?
Tiny
a tiny bit.
bits.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right.
yeah. I can't really speak to it too much.
Yeah, I know Brad's been playing a bunch of it. They're going to record a quick look of it out east this week.
Yeah, I'm gonna look forward to that because I've actually been playing more EDF than anything.
Yeah, EDF 5.
EDF 5. It's the brand new one.
Defense Force.
Yeah, it's a familiar recipe. They keep going back to it, but they changed around some ingredients.
Did they make it good this time, or
God damn it,
what?
it's so good every time. I don't know what you're talking about. I really like EDF. So yeah, this is another. We're shooting aliens. We're shooting bugs and stuff. It's very much.
Tell me about the hunger system. How often do I have to refill my cores?
There's survival elements now. Yeah. No, there's not at all. You literally just shoot everything.
It sounds so nice.
Have so satisfying.
It's kind of what I need in my life right now.
So I feel like the last few EDF games, it's just like it's campy, right? I mean, it's like
totally
all the singing, and then the bugs don't really animate well. Like it's a bad movie.
No. Yeah, exactly. You don't need them to. So yeah, they're really embracing it this time, and I don't know if it's to its detriment or not, but like it's almost too over the top campy. Regardless, yeah, like they're doing the sci-fi music, the woo, that kind of stuff,
theremin stuff. Yeah.
Yep, and so they've gotten rid of a lot of the giant robots and replaced them with frogs, which is actually kind of cool because they're like bipedal frogs.
Okay.
And you can blow off their limbs and shit. And
if
you blow off their fucking legs, they'll still keep shooting at you. They don't give a shit.
The frogs are holding guns?
Yeah, the frogs are holding guns and shit. It's pretty rad.
How is it more efficient to design your killing machine like a frog rather than a humanoid?
Are they machines, or are they just legit giant frogs?
I think they're
okay, so
cyborgs.
Genetically modified giant frogs.
Yeah, I'm actually getting kind of a through line with the storyline. In between all the chatter of, it's like, I'll lay down my life for the EDF, and some other guy going, cool. Or it's like, wait, why did you join EDF? And the other guy's like, for love. That's
frog love.
Frog love.
Wait, is this because of the fluoride that they put in the water? Is this what's happening to the frogs?
Probably.
Okay.
So they actually make reference to that movie Signs, and spoiler alert.
What? Why?
It's like, why would the aliens come to a planet that's like mostly full of water, right?
Yeah.
So these aliens, sorry to spoil EDF for you, but they're allergic to air pollution. So yeah.
So we have to pollute the air to get the aliens out?
So like, yeah, we have to fight them in like Beijing, where it's like, horrible smog and shit. It's like we take them down to LA, and that's where we'll have our last stand or something. I don't know, man. It's fucking EDF.
Okay.
How's the shooting?
Shooting is not as good, actually. Yeah, there's a lot of weapons where you would, like in previous games, you would just hold down the button and it would repeatedly, shoot.
Yeah.
Now it's like with a lot of the weapons, you hold it in and it'll actually charge. When you release,
weird.
Then it shoots, and it doesn't feel as good.
Yeah,
so it's like if you've got like a focused laser or something like that, you would now you would hold it down and then release, and then it just goes for a while, and it's actually not really all that satisfying.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a bummer, but I'm liking the frogs.
Yeah,
for sure.
Frogs sound good.
I like the frogs. There's big aliens that you like, bipedal, like the gray aliens. They're wearing like Halo armor and shit like that. So we've got some new types of aliens to shoot our guns at.
I don't know.
The quips are the best that they've ever been, and that's saying a lot.
Yeah. All right. Well,
it's still fucking EDF.
If I've never played an EDF and I want to get in, is there a certain place you'd recommend starting, or should I just jump in here?
Anywhere, I think. Okay. Yeah. Post Wing Diver, I think.
Okay.
I was gonna say, like, that was the thing. The last couple of games have been like, hey, there's a character class that just flies around all crazy.
Yeah.
Is that still?
Yeah, that's still the case. So there's the 4 types: Air Raider, which is like calling in tanks and shit like that. Also calling in airstrikes. Regular ass Ranger, which is just a soldier, access to a lot of different weapon. Fencer, which is a big burly kind of buff guy.
Yeah.
And then Wing Diver, which is just like fucking flying around like an insect and shooting all kinds of like energy weapons. It's so cool.
Is there a local co-op in this one?
Yeah, this split screen actually. Okay. Yeah, 2-person split screen, I think. Yeah, I think just.
And then is it 4-player online?
I want to say 4-player online. I haven't tried the online just yet, but I think we might try and do that for the quick.
Yeah, Alex has been playing some of it as well. So.
But man, dude, it's been super therapeutic. Just oh my god.
I need a video game video game. I played a little more Red Dead Online, couldn't do it. I was trying to play some other things, couldn't do it. I almost downloaded Spyro just because I was like, what's something that's so light and I can just pick up and not really think about, maybe watch some TV while I do it. This sounds like it could be a good choice for that, though.
Yeah, you can pay zero attention, and it's kind of like a clicker in that respect. Now we're talking.
Now I'm in.
No,
I don't know, man. EDF has just never. I'll try this one out because I feel like I try them all out. It's just never worked for me.
This is not
like
change your mind.
Yeah, the shooting has never been good enough, even back when it was a lot of hit scan, regular ass weapons, and this charge shot stuff doesn't sound like.
I appreciate that. But once you do find like a really good weapon, like I've got a really good homing weapon.
Okay.
And it just fires off a continuous stream of missiles, and it's so satisfying. Just like holding down the button and just watching this line of missiles just like corkscrew through the air and into the face of a bipedal frog.
All right, there's something to that.
There's totally something to that.
There's something to that for sure.
And especially, God, I can't say enough about the quips. They're really, really good this time.
All right,
really good.
All right.
We'll see it in our quip look.
Yeah.
All right. That's a roll. Quiplash.
But that's about it.
Yeah.
That's about it for me.
Ben, you playing anything other? You said you're trying to Red Dead Online. I see
it's
still playing Into the Breach.
Yeah.
Okay.
Into the Breach, Overwatch. I actually loaded up Destiny because I wanted to jump back in. I was like, okay, now's a good time to check out Forsaken.
I started on a little bit. I played a little bit over the weekend myself.
So as somebody who hasn't loaded it up since that first raid dropped.
Okay, so you haven't even touched any of the DLC at all.
Not touched anything. I opened it up, clicked through like 20 screens of here's all this new
it's
shit.
Christmas, here's the Christmas shit. Here's this.
You've done 2 of these like they're like challenges.
Yeah. There's a whole new Triumph system in there, all that stuff.
And then it got to the overworld map and there was like 3 new planets and like a million new symbols, and I sat there and I was like a little worried before I even opened it up because I'm like, I don't really remember the loop. Like once I get in it, I'll remember it. It'll come back to me, I'm sure. But like I don't know where to start. And then it was just completely fucking different from top to bottom.
Yeah.
Like there's the little gold symbols by every planet.
Yeah, those are like your dailies and weeklies.
Okay, there's a thing on Mars that it says I should be 310 light to do.
That's probably the next like story DLC. That's probably the first.
There's the Forsaken corner, and it wants me to buy Forsaken, but I wasn't ready to make that commitment yet.
Okay, yeah.
I just had part of me was like, okay, just jump into a planet and start shooting things, and then you'll eventually figure it out. But then I was even too intimidated to do that. There's no onboarding for Destiny.
Anything, so there's that. What is it? You pull L2 and it slides out the little like, hey, here's the shit that you have.
Right. Okay.
That stuff is still good.
Okay.
For at least like figuring out that stuff. Then you have the powerful gear quests, the dailies, the weeklies, all that sort of stuff. But
that's the one thing I was forgetting.
Yeah. If you pull out that side tab that tells you what the fuck to do, it'll still tell you what the fuck to do. It'll pick you up where you left off. But even then, it's still stuff like, hey, a new season has started, so visit the vendor that sells things for real money to get like your free taste.
Like I had
hopefully buy some silver.
I had 4 or 5 quests on the Traveler. No,
yeah, the social area, the hub. Yeah.
And they were all like, here's a thing, but also there's this other thing that you should probably buy.
Yeah. And then even
there's competitive emotes. There's just so much stuff that I was like, God, this is like.
So I jumped in over the weekend. I loaded it up over the weekend and had a similar experience. And I played all that. I played up through Forsaken.
Yeah.
And so the Black Armory is the thing that launched more recently.
Right.
And then the Christmas event. So I got like the intro to that Christmas event. A thing saying, hey, it's season 5 or whatever the fuck season this is. And so there's new emotes, and it's another season of Valor. Earn your rank up and all this other stuff that you're never going to touch. I'm like, all right, whatever. I'm never going to touch it. I made some cookies and delivered them to the guy for the Christmas thing. And then it was like, all right, do that 20 more times. I was like, I'm good. I'm good.
No.
And I went to the Black Armory and got a cutscene, and then it gave me an item that I think will turn into a gun if I do a bunch of other stuff. And then I was like, I'm good, and didn't actually do anything. But yeah, I don't know.
I think I will dive back in, like loading it up, getting that music again, the visuals. There was something to coming back to Destiny after a long break that, you know, you hear people talk about Destiny, and it's just like, oh God, you know, you're talking, it's just shooting. Like, what are you gonna really? But it is an experience. That game does like have a powerfulness to it that like when you load it up, you're like, oh shit, this is made by some people who know what they're doing and have some money to.
It's some good shit. It's just get like. It never felt like a game that was worth playing every day, and also now that I've taken a big break from it, it's hard to get back in. So it's this weird middle ground of like, you should probably play it once a week or something if you're going to stick with it. But I didn't do that. Now here I am at 517, I think is where I got up to.
Yeah, I'll blaze through all the DLC probably, and then just call it. I might even check out the new Black Armory stuff. I heard that's like end game focused, and that's really in there for the people who
that's
like,
kind of
are on the daily grind.
But I guess the one of the changes they made, if I was reading it right, was that they made it easier to like more good shit will drop if you're below a certain level to try to get you into that range, which could be good. But
I still had my Mida multi-tool equipped, and I bet that shit's.
That's so out of the meta.
Garbage.
What the fuck, man? That's like season 2 meta. Get that shit out. No, I don't even know. I don't even know. Yeah, I don't know. I like Destiny. Jan, you play anything?
Went raiding over the weekend. Pokemon Go, still a thing.
Yeah.
Continues to be a thing, unfortunately.
So even when the weather is foul, you're still outside.
Yeah. They had a weekend event they had special raid bosses. You could catch either Lugia or Ho-Oh. And man, my experience with like meeting my experience with meeting just random people and just raiding with them is always like hit or miss. Like sometimes people will be super cool and like super nice, everyone's friendly, but because there were so many Lugia raids going on today, people were playing. It's like, hey, you're gonna go to this one, you're gonna go to that one next, and then I'd asked like a couple dudes that I had seen before. Kind of like just knew them by face, and like I knew that they were kind of like big time like Pokemon Go people
in the scene,
in Daly City and Pacifica. It's like, hey, like where you guys gonna go next? And like there was this weird like gatekeeping type deal of like, I don't know if we're gonna go raiding any more today. Maybe we'll go. And then like next location I go to, of course they're fucking there.
Yeah.
And they just don't want to share their precious little information.
But that's the thing. It's like it's not like they get less shit for telling you, right?
No, not at all. Like in fact, like the raid would get easier with more people, and it's not like I'm taking away anything from them by being there.
Man.
Well, you know, the real world interactions are always weird. People are socially awkward.
Yeah.
You know.
But then
if I was out playing a video game in public and someone came up to me and said like, "Yo, man, what you doing?" I'd be like, "Nothing. I gotta go."
But these same people,
drop your phone on the ground.
Yeah, exactly. Run away.
These same people are also asking for rides of like, "Hey,
can
you take me to the next place?"
Like, I don't know.
I'm gonna blindfold you, and you're gonna drive me to this location.
That's the value you bring to the team. You gotta be like, "I got a fucking car," or or do you have a car? I don't know.
Yeah, totally.
Well, okay then.
And then like I'm
I got a car and Cheetos in the car.
Can you imagine if Ash had met somebody with a car instead of a bike?
Everything would be so much easier. He would have been a master by now.
He would have.
The
Won
ultimate
at least won
hidden
a fight.
machine.
Car.
I started playing Let's Go Pikachu
neat.
and name my character Ash. That's like that seems like correct,
That's the
right?
way to go.
Okay, yeah.
I think that's canon.
Yeah. That kind of felt like I kind of had to. It was like, what's your name? It's like, my name doesn't fucking matter here, man.
I'm not who matters.
Yeah.
What's your fucking name?
And
Would
you know,
would you name your rival?
Gary.
Nice. But Jeff, you meet him later though.
Oh, I fucked it all up.
Oh no!
There can't be two Garys.
There's two Garys now.
Shit.
Pokemon
Which Gary
fan of
is
two
it?
Garys.
Shitty time.
Oh man.
Two Garys.
I guess I should have named him like Blue.
Larry.
What I forget what.
He's blue.
If you're red, he's blue.
Yes.
If you're blue, he's red.
Yeah.
And that's just his name, right?
Yeah. I mean, everyone's just repping the set. You know?
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Blue Gary.
That's right. I signed up for Nintendo's online shit.
Cool.
Okay. The hell
For
for?
Smash or
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Because none of us had played it online, and I was like, well, we should probably at least see what the fuck this looks like on the internet. And I was able to use all my coins that I had gotten from buying other Switch games.
Oh yeah,
And so it was like $8.
Oh, that's right.
I'm like, all right. That
for the
seems-
year.
Yeah.
Oh.
Nice.
Yeah. So
Did you mess with any of the NES
I did.
stuff?
yeah,
What do you think?
I don't like the menu. Like it's a cluttered. Like you launch it and it's just a ton of NES
Tiles,
box
yeah.
shots tiled. Yeah, and there's a bunch of big ones at the top that are like the recent additions, and then smaller ones below that. And it's just I don't know. It's
It's
going
going
to
to get unwieldy at a certain
It already
point,
is,
yeah.
I think, but it's fine. And yeah, I don't know. I played some NES games. They have some of those like SP versions that are like save states that
right.
drop you in with it's like, here you are at Ridley with full energy tanks. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
But like it's weird because they set that up, and then if you go into the description of it, it's straight up upsell for Super Smash Brothers. It's like Ridley, hey, Ridley's into Super Smash Brothers Ultimate, but like the worst upsell, it's not like there's a button there to go buy Smash. It's just like, hey, we did this because of the Smash Brothers. Here's Ridley. Did you know that Ridley was in another game before?
That's like the bad version of what they do with World of Light.
Yeah,
It's just like,
exactly.
hey, this is like this other thing, but it's just the thing, and we're just telling you about the other thing.
Yeah, and then I launched just regular ass Metroid and put in the password engage Ridley motherfucker, which crashes the game. It always has. It's weird. What? It's a password that breaks the fucking game. And depending on what you're running it on, whether it's original hardware or different emulators, like they kind of all behave differently. So you enter the password, you hit start, and it's just the switch pops up a thing saying there's a problem with this game, and dumps you back to the menu, which is pretty good.
You think they changed that copy after like Smash is out, or I mean like after like the initial wave is ended?
I bet that some of those SP like save state things are limited time.
Okay.
And they just go away eventually.
Okay.
Because there's another one up there for like for Dr. Mario that starts you out at the highest level at the end. Like, hey, kill these 3 viruses and you'll see the tree with the dudes standing on top. And then the text is like, few people have seen this. I'm like, come on. Come on. I mean, I guess in the grand scheme, percentage of people on Earth, maybe that's pretty low, but what the fuck?
I've never seen it.
Yeah, well, now you can without working for it.
Great.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna Google it.
Damn kids. Don't
And I
let
want a
them
trophy.
Suffer for that. All right, well,
come on.
here you go. Avocado toast and some Dr. Mario end game. And yeah, so I don't know. And then I played Smash Brothers on the internet. It works. It's fine.
Okay.
Some matches were bad.
Okay.
It felt like your average video game netcode. It didn't seem like special attention was paid to just like, hey, we're doing rollback and GGP. You know, it's nothing fancy. It's just like, hey, you play it on the internet. Like all of Nintendo's games, it seems very bare bones.
I saw that they patched it, and they're saying now you're way more likely to get the modes you search for.
Yeah, there's a toggle for preferred rule set on off, and you can go in and say what your preferred rules are in terms of what types of items,
the filter settings.
Yeah, or like, do you want team battle or 1v1 or just 4-player free for all? You know, you can kind of pick in those.
Cool.
And I think I just left it as the default of just like, give me 4-player free for all with all items. I don't give a shit. Let's have a good time.
Yep.
And that's what I've gotten every time. I think I got a 1v1 once.
I feel like a big problem. A lot of people are saying the net code is like hit or miss.
Yeah,
like
yeah, totally. Like it's going to be dependent on who you're matched with. If they're on good close by, or
see, that's the
whatever.
thing. Is like I bet I feel like compared to a PS4 or an Xbox, you're going to see a lot fewer switches actually hardwired into Ethernet compared to those other consoles. There's going to be people playing on handheld. There's going to be people playing on docks who don't even plug it in because their Wi-Fi is fine.
Yeah,
like with other fighting games,
but
I feel
also like most people don't.
The first thing I do is I make sure that I have an Ethernet cord plugged in when it comes to like if I'm going to play Street Fighter online or something. I'm going to make sure I go through all the hoops. The average Smash player, I don't think, is going to necessarily.
Well, no, who's going to go out and buy an Ethernet
It's not
adapter?
even like a normal Ethernet port.
Yeah, no, like no one's going to do that. It's a console designed to be played wirelessly. That's just like the Wii U was, just like the Wii was. It's not.
The Wii U was not a console designed to be played at all.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Super Mario Maker, game of the generation.
I dusted off my Wii U. It was a thick layer.
Oh yeah.
Oh gee.
Yeah, when I brought mine in for Extra Life, there was a ton, and I used that thing. But yeah,
think of where mine is.
It was very, very dusty.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I had my PS4 wired and my Xbox One wireless for a very long time, and I don't know. I have a good router, so like the wireless situation was not bad at all. Like it was. I did wire up my Xbox One, and there was like basically zero change, zero noticeable change.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think there are plenty of situations where wireless is totally fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe you
I'm
have
in the
someone
same
playing,
situation.
you know, hey, I'm on this beanbag on the other side of my house and the Wi-Fi actually sucks. And,
I'm at a McDonald's.
yeah. Or yes, I'm tethered to my phone on a bus. Who knows what you're getting there.
Who are you playing as?
Mario and Ryu. Pretty much.
Nice.
Cool.
The
Yeah.
Ryu.
Yeah,
and
the
Ryu.
more Ryus, the better, as far as I'm concerned. And Capcom agrees, turns out.
Is Mario the Ryu of Smash, or is Ryu the Ryu of Smash?
Mario's the Ryu of Smash.
And what's Ryu?
Ryu is a guest character who is, you know, that's like if Terry Bogard was in Street Fighter, you wouldn't call him the Ryu of that game.
Yeah. Well, I call it Rio.
Yeah,
Ryu
okay. Yeah, well, yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I don't know. I like the World of Light mode in that game because I like seeing all the shit they put in. I think that's the thing that keeps me playing it is I like seeing the shit they put in, but I still don't think the game is much fun. Like it's just like, all right,
It's just a core.
Yeah.
That Smash is never going to click. Like
no, like I feel like I've gotten like maybe a slightly bit better at it over the last, I don't know, 5-8 hours of playing it, 10 hours, whatever it's been. But I'm not having any. It's still just like I just want to unlock all this shit, and I'm just gonna sit here and wind up a smash attack and hope the AI walks into it. I beat the classic mode on, you know, got it up to intensity 9, and did all
like
that
that mural.
shit. And yeah, it's a cool mural. Yeah, cool. It's neat.
Yeah,
there's a lot of neat shit in that game.
Yeah, that game is full of like shit you see once, go, oh, cool, and then don't think about it again.
Exactly.
But there's so much of it that it keeps you going.
I fucking had all my amiibos out and was like, oh, well, if I put all these on here, I'll get a bunch of spirits. So I'm just going to do that real quick and get Chibi Robo and all this other crap. Wedding Suit Bowser and all the other stuff.
I like that Dan is the weakest spirit in the game, even below a Goomba.
Oh, that's great.
That's sad.
That's but accurate.
So you need to put on like amiibos that are not included in Smash in order to get spirits. Is that what's going on?
It's a mix of it depends. So like some will do both.
Okay.
So some will unlock a spirit thing and be a functional character for the like the FP thing, and some won't. So like Mario doesn't unlock anything spirit wise, but you can make a Mario FP.
Yeah.
I want to say if you have Wedding Suit Bowser, that's the one that will
give you
unlock Wedding Suit Spirit, but I think it can still be used as a Bowser.
Okay.
For the FP.
Interesting.
So I'm pretty sure like that one in particular might have been the one that I found that does both.
I brought up my box, and as it turned out, every single one that I had was just a Smash Brothers character. Okay. So I'm like, fuck this.
Yeah, like I have Chibi Robo because they sent one with that and all that
My
stuff.
Monster Hunter ones did not work. They were not supported.
Bummer.
And they just did nothing at all?
They did nothing at all.
That sucks because it actually says when you first get to that menu, it's just like, even the ones that aren't in the game will do something. And I'm like, oh, that's good. They should always do something.
Yes.
Apparently they don't.
Yeah, because they never brought those to the States, unfortunately.
But still, you know, just like, hey, give me a random low-level spirit.
Yep.
Doesn't even have to be tied to that character. Just be like, hey, this isn't one that works, but here's a thing.
Bummer.
Here's 1,000 coins.
Bummer.
Thanks for buying these fucking dumb figures.
Hey, I got everything unlocked. Woohoo.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I finally did.
We have an email later on that we'll get to about the different ways you can unlock shit.
Oh, jeez. I never want to go back.
That sound like a way to make this process faster, but also the most soulless thing you could do.
Like the more you dive into it.
Okay. Totally. Yeah, it's just like, oh, you can grind this out if you really want to in like 2 hours, but I don't know. I don't know.
I'm interested in hearing this.
And I'm still playing a lot of Call of Duty. Not a lot. I don't know. I'm playing like 2 or 3 rounds a day.
It
generally
went on, like the full game went on sale for like console over the weekend for $30, which kind of made me mad because they just released a PC version,
which
that took zombies out.
Yeah, and that was $30.
And that was $30.
Yeah. $30 is a great price to pay for
by all means, totally.
any version of that game, I think. Yeah, it's I don't know that I like the new character they added, but the new maps I think are pretty good, and they also, some of the maps did like a lighting change, so it's like here's a nighttime version of this map. It's like that's a fun little thing. And I'm getting close. I'm like level 52, 53. I'll probably prestige over the break if I had to guess. I'll probably get it. And yeah, let's get into some news. What do you say?
Yes. Yeah.
All right.
What the hell's going on in news?
What the hell is going on in news indeed?
That's what I scream into Siri every morning.
Siri, what the hell is... Hey, Siri, what's the hell's is going on in news?
Everything's fucked.
Oh, okay. All right. Let's find out. Penny Marshall, who played Feisty Laverne. Oh, no. Oh,
Penny Marshall died?
Yes. This my laptop totally read out exactly what
you said.
what the news is. Yeah, no, it's absolutely accurate.
And I bet you at home the same thing is happening to you.
Congratulations, everyone. Alan Greenspan. Investors should prepare for the worst.
What else is going on?
I'm gonna stop
Jeff?
there. Oh, Penny Marshall. That's sad. Penny Marshall. Kingdom Hearts 3 is leaked 6 weeks early.
No!
Oh, jeez.
It's the worst news heard yet.
So
God,
watch out.
My Christmas is ruined.
That's right. Or made if you could have been one of the people. There was a dude on Facebook slinging copies of this for $100.
What?
Ooh, wait.
What was the quote? There was a quote.
It was like, "I'm the man, plain and simple."
Yeah.
Was the response
when
he
reached
gave to
out for
Kotaku.
story.
Like, how'd you get this game?
I'm the man.
I'm the man.
Mother
Plain and
man.
simple. Simple and clean indeed.
Selling copies for $100 on
$100
Facebook.
On Facebook. 100.
Dude, people
Hey,
will
you know,
fucking
You
buy
could get
that.
way
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
more than $100 for that. What
Totally.
a fuck, man, dumbass.
Wonder how many he had though. Like,
Yeah, I don't know.
If he just wanted to get rid of them as soon as
Yeah,
possible.
maybe, but still, you could find people that would pay 300. Like the 300, it seems low
Yeah.
for the
Yeah.
length of time this game's been out. If you were like, "Yo, if you give me $1,000, I'll give you a copy with this right now." But I guess maybe you gotta get it out there before the fucking cops show up at your door.
That's fair, yeah.
Before Mickey shows up.
Yeah, Mickey, Disney, aka the government, aka the police. It's all the same thing.
We're going to cut off your head and freeze it under our theme park.
Oh no,
No, they wouldn't offer him that benefit.
Yeah, no.
It's only for the prestigious.
Right. Voice actor Quentin Flynn was out there saying that he was who plays Axel in Axel Foley. Everyone is here.
he is.
Says that they caught the guy responsible. That's,
good.
That's I don't know how reliable a source he is for this, but hey,
What a weird guy to
he
report
is
in on
somewhat
this.
attached to the game, so it was his understanding that they
Fucking-
tracked down the person.
It was an all hands thing.
Yeah, I
Voice
guess so.
actors
Yeah,
are out there.
everyone's fucking pounding the pavement for this shit. And then they put out a statement. Square put out a statement saying like, "Hey, look out! Also, the epilogue and some of this other stuff, like the ending or whatever, like implying that maybe some of this stuff is not on the shipping disc.
Yeah, that's
And
what
that-
I was getting away from
Yeah,
that too.
and that maybe it'll be patched in.
Like a day one
Yeah,
patch,
day one
sort of.
patch for the ending to prevent it from leaking or something. I just
Interesting.
Kingdom Hearts is just it's just another video game. It's not worth an extra level of this shit. It was never that fucking grandiose to begin with.
Here's the thing. If you're worried about getting spoiled, make sure to mute Kingdom Hearts on Twitter. If you're not worried about getting spoiled, make sure to mute Kingdom Hearts on Twitter.
Great.
Here's the thing, like you could be told exactly what's going on in that game and still not understand it.
Yeah. No, this Xeno.
But no, I mean the people who are,
I know,
the people
I
who are
know.
most
It was a joke.
concerned are definitely going to be like, it would suck to like have to wait 12 years?
Yeah, whatever it's been. Yeah,
That-
that
that
would
would-
be
that would suck
that
a
would
little
suck
bit.
to have something like that go down. I guess. Sure.
Harry
I
Potter's
guess.
in the game. Who knows?
Yeah. Right.
Damn
yeah,
it.
Sure.
Like,
Minions are in it.
Think about
Damn
what
it.
Disney owns
Fucking
now.
Chris Berman.
Luke Skywalker is
Yeah,
in the
Luke
game
Skywalker
now.
is there. That's not
I
Milky's.
mean, never
drink.
would have trained like that.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
No, that's
Sora would not have become that good at the Keyblade in 2 months.
Luke Skywalker taught Sora how to use the Keyblade a new way, and now the Keyblade glows. Sora's a Mary Sue! Capcom held the Capcom Cup.
Yeah, I watched a little bit of that.
I didn't
and,
even realize that it was on.
That's. I feel like those are two perfectly logical statements about the Capcom Cup. The only reason I knew about it is because they went ahead and announced a new character.
Yep, they did.
Again,
No, they didn't.
Again, a totally appropriate response.
They did not announce a new character, Jeff.
I got that press release.
Yeah.
And got excited. Like, wow, cool. Kage. All right, so he's like a ninja?
Kage, yeah.
Yeah,
The
let's-
guest
all right.
characters. They're bringing in
Yeah.
Kage from
Legend of
Virtua Fighter.
Yeah, sure, man.
Kagamaru's
okay.
coming in. Great.
So I hopped online and it was presented with this fucking evil Ryu looking. He's got horns.
So they announced Kage, a new character who looks like a broke-ass Halloween Ryu.
Yep.
And the other note I wrote here is, what the fuck?
Yep.
Why
that is
did
accurate.
they? I didn't watch.
Like
the
he's got bottom
announced trailer.
fangs.
I watched the character trailer, and that was it, just to see like
Yeah.
what he did. And it looks like he does evil Ryu shit.
Yep.
Yep.
Like he does
Yeah,
the axe
He's
kick.
evil Ryu. Yep.
Yeah.
Why isn't he just called evil Ryu?
I don't know. I don't understand.
Well, okay. I can tell you
Please.
from their press release, Kage, meaning shadow, is the physical embodiment of the evil spirit Satsui no Hado that could hypothetically overtake Ryu and turn him into the character evil Ryu.
Hypothetically.
Street Fighter V fans will recall Ryu overcame the Satsui no Hado in the general story against Nekali, and regained control of his former self.
You remember.
Satsui no Hado is now back, and instead of overtaking Ryu's body, has now found a way to manifest into its own physical form. That happens to just fucking look like Ryu.
So it's eviler Ryu.
Yeah,
Eviler.
it's without the Ryu. There's no Ryu in there except for the part where it's totally Ryu.
He's got horns.
He
and a
looks
scarf.
like Ryu.
He looks like Ryu with like fucking glow horns. Like I said it. He looks.
Ryu's first rave.
He looks
Yeah.
like Ryu. Fucking yes. He looks like Ryu wandered into the fucking spirit
City,
on
yeah.
October 30th and said, "Shit, man, I got a Halloween party tomorrow. What do you got left? Just sell me that shit." Oh yeah, fucking.
Does
fangs.
anyone have any drugs?
Yeah, exactly. And then yes, Ryu's there holding his fucking bag,
Oh my god.
showing up at the party, going, "I'm looking for some club drugs. Do you have any?" Looks at his hand. 2CT7.
My friend Dulcium said you're the guy
yeah.
to see.
So this, they started.
I'm wearing my ad style. Do I get a discount?
Oh god. Oh god.
It looks so bad. Like
I didn't
people
wanna
were.
go there.
I don't know why. I don't know the buzz around it, but I saw a lot of people were expecting Makoto. A lot of people were like, "Ooh,
Sure.
Makoto's coming! Hell yeah, baby! It's Makoto time!"
Nope.
No, it's
Here's my deal.
it's
All right.
the soul of evil Ryu.
They started this event late, right?
Yeah.
PlayStation Store leaked this info essentially. Like
Yeah.
came out a couple hours earlier than
There's gonna
they
be
were
maintenance
anticipating.
and yeah.
Yeah, there's going to be maintenance, but so the character got out before the event was even over. And then come to find out that you couldn't even buy the character right away. You had to use Fight, like on Steam, for instance. The store did not update, but the update was put out there, so
Right.
you could go in-game, use Fight money, which I did not have enough.
100,000 fight money is what they want, or
100,000
$6 cash.
Yep, or $6, but it wasn't available.
Okay. So by the time I looked, it was all available.
Right, on
and-
Steam,
yeah,
or-
on Steam.
okay. And then on PlayStation, I went ahead and I bought it, but then I thought, well, fuck, they're not offering a season pass yet.
Right.
Right.
And so that's
did
the-
I just shoot myself in the foot
Yes.
by paying money for this?
Or maybe not. So that's weird. And I feel like there's some wishy-washy words in their press release. That, you know, so they call it like the first new character for a season, but they're not selling a season pass. They did not announce a season of characters.
Right.
They just said a new character for the season, not necessarily implying that there will be a ton more or anything like that. And so you wonder, does season actually just mean the next season of Capcom Cup and not necessarily a season of characters? Are they just saying, fuck it, we're going to hit you for $6 every time instead of like giving
Selling
you the
season
discount up
pass,
front or whatever? I thought it was very strange
Yeah.
that they didn't also roll out a season pass alongside this stuff.
Yeah, because I feel like their last ones have always been like, here's 5 silhouettes in the first character.
Yep.
And they all leak ahead of time, you know,
Yeah.
and they fuck it up, you know. So like last season, they announced all of the characters up front, didn't they?
Yeah.
Because they just were like, fuck it, we know, we can't keep a secret. And yeah, so they did kind of the opposite of that, but now I think it's in question as to like, will there actually be will there be more characters? Like the select screen, I feel like has
Will there be
room
a
for one
season
more.
pass? Yeah.
Yeah, will there be a season pass? Will there actually be a full season of characters? Or are they just going to do like one more
Here's this
because
new
they have
character
there's
coming.
a hole on the other side of the select screen that
All right,
you
check
could
it
put one
out.
more.
It's his name is Shinobi, but he looks like Ken, but
Got
he's got
it,
a
okay.
knife, and he's not violent Ken because Ken overcame his violent tendencies at the birth
Fans
of
will
his
remember in the
daughter
general
in the
story
story.
mode. Yeah, man.
Did they really just want to put? Okay, I can see if this is how I think it went down.
Okay.
They said, "Hey, we need to put in another character." let's do Evil Ryu. People like that guy. And then they made him, and they're like, oh no, the lore. We can't do it because of the lore of Street Fighter, the story mode. And then they put that one guy in a locker and said, actually, maybe he had a point, and then let him out of the locker. And then said, okay, we'll call him Kage.
Sure. It means shadow. It's like
what? It's not an original character, but they had to. This whole thing does not.
Yeah, no, I think
yet another surprising move from Capcom on the Street Fighter V front.
Yeah, they have always found new and exciting ways to surprise people when it comes to that game.
He looks cool with the Pro Tour armbands on.
I bet. Yeah. What a series of moves they've made lately. Anyway,
they did kind of come out and kind of apologize for the ad-supported stuff a little bit. They said they're further reviewing it.
Okay.
Or something like that.
I mean, you don't have to use it.
Yeah.
Like I don't.
Well, yeah, you can't turn it off, but that wasn't made quite clear when it first came out.
Okay.
And it also the implementation is fucking horrendous.
It's stupid.
It's awful.
Really bad.
It's more than just stupid.
Really, like the way it looks, just slapping it on people.
It's just like, hey, we made generic versions of the kind of base outfits that have holes on them where you can put your fucking logo. And now we're gonna go out and fucking try to put, I don't know,
not just that, but
Kia logo.
The in between, right before the match starts. So it's got the loading screen there, and then it just like cuts to fucking ad. And it's just like completely silent. It's so awkward.
Presumably could have already bought.
Right.
Because it's DLC.
Yeah.
But, it will always be DLC. If they sell this to an actual sponsor, then it's like, hey, get this car.
Right.
We put this Cup of Noodles logo over Guile's American flag tattoo. Because nothing
the Cup of
means
Noodles is the new American flag. Everyone knows that.
As far as I'm concerned.
I like Cup of Noodles, but...
It's a cup noodle?
Yeah.
Let's stay on brand.
No, this is my brand. Cup O Noodles.
Cup of Noodles.
It's an Irish take on it.
Ugh.
What? Delicious. It's got haggis.
Corned beef.
That's not even, yeah.
That sounds delicious.
Yeah. Corned beef cup noodle? Why not? Here's the storm. While we're talking about esports events, Blizzard came out and said that they were killing the Heroes of the Storm Global Championship League.
Did they have
and Heroes of the Dorm.
And Heroes of the Dorm.
What is Heroes of the Dorm?
That's like a college tournament for
college
HOTS.
league.
That works.
Yeah, which is it's a clever name.
Yeah.
And support for the game is seemingly being scaled back. They're moving developers onto other projects. It sounds like they're not coming out and saying it, but this sounds like maintenance mode to me. This sounds like, hey, we're not killing the game. You'll still be able to play it, but we're not exactly
they said, like,
hey, we
still have some things in the pipe. Presumably they've been working on characters and stuff.
Right. So it's not to say that there will be zero new content, but I feel like this was...
This is all but killing it.
Yes, this was all but killing it, but also I kind of feel like you could see this coming. Like
if you were paying attention to it at all.
Well, exactly. Well, that's that's kind of my point. Is Heroes of the Storm was, like maybe number 3 in the MOBA in the non-mobile MOBA realm.
Okay.
If not, no, I can't think of what game would.
I'm pretty sure like
move it down to 4 or 5 or something. But okay, sure. Smite, I kind of view Smite as a different sort of thing.
Yeah.
Once you take that perspective out of it, it's action MOBA. I don't know. It's some other thing. So yeah, I don't know. None of this is surprising to me, but apparently it caught like the Heroes of the Storm community completely off guard.
Yeah, it always sucks because like you expect games and events to sort of scale. Like in Dota, for example, with leagues and stuff, there have been times where there have been less and more people interested in the competitive scene, and the kind of the tournament structure grows and shrinks with it, right? So it's like some years you have a couple big majors and that's it. Like this year it's at an all-time high. There's a bunch of majors and minors, but you can kind of see it fluctuate.
Right.
And this was kind of seemed like it was a little blip that was just going, and then went to 0. Like they pulled the cord on it. They didn't scale it back.
And they announced it in a kind of a just like very tossed off sort of way of just like
screen, like a text.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Saying,
it's like, hey, we're pulling out of this thing. And I guess the people in the esports community around the game, a lot of them were at BlizzCon and being told like, hey, we're finalizing some stuff. We'll have more to say soon. like no real indication that this was happening, at least on the surface. But also, like, you know, those are decisions that, like, you know, are going to get made at higher levels, presumably, than the people in those roles of talking to the community and stuff. So I feel like people feel blindsided about a lot of that stuff, and I get it. But, like, I don't know, some of this stuff some of the reaction is kind of rubbing me the wrong way. I have some quotes here that Kotaku got. This is Dari, the general manager of Method, which is a team.
General manager of Meth.
Yeah. Method Man's manager came out and said, Sour Patch Kids. We are troubled by the way the announcement was made, namely the impolitic choice to use social media to share such a message that effectively ended the careers of hundreds of players, content creators, casters, and production crews overnight.
Sure.
And broke the hearts of countless fans. I'm actually pretty sure you could count them. And I think that's the thing is like, yeah, okay. Ending the career of players, content creators, casters, and production crews, like, is it? Like, a production crew is theoretically something that could cover another game.
Totally.
Casters are, you know, like, these are people that are passionate, have been, like, obviously there'll be a transition.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's like a one-to-one.
Like, the technical side, sure, like, you know, production I could see moving, but like the casters, the players, the analysts, the coaches,
it's people that put a lot of time and care into this specific game,
and that's not something you can just take to Dota.
No, exactly. I'm not saying that, hey, they can just plug right into another game, but also, like, something about calling it like it's the end of the career for these people.
You kind of got to know the risk about esports.
Yeah,
it's
also
such a young industry
and
like it's going to be so volatile.
And you don't own the game.
Yeah,
a corporation, a publicly traded company.
You don't own the game, and you don't own like the rights to the game either. Because like anyone can go play baseball, and I could theoretically start a like. Hey, I'm starting a baseball league, and we're going to get a bunch of companies around the Bay Area, and we're all going to play baseball against each other, and it's going to be a little tournament. It's going to be fun. And you can do that.
And then someone else, like, if you stopped, someone else could go like, I'm going to keep doing it.
Yeah. But if suddenly, for some reason, like, the difference is MLB can't come up to me and say, you can't play baseball anymore.
Right. Yeah. And, you know, I guess a situation like that would be like if Blizzard actually shut Heroes of the Storm down, and then people try to run it on private servers.
Yeah.
Blizzard would probably be able to say, hey, you cannot do that.
This spawned kind of a bigger conversation about just like corporations' role in esports, which is a relatively new thing. Like, you know, the fighting game scene kind of got by for a really long time just by the players playing the games, being passionate about the games, you know, growing their own community.
Yeah.
Eventually, Capcom steps in and other companies step in. ArcSys is doing it with their games too, and start saying, we want a little more control, and we're going to reciprocate with giving you money and the tools to build this out in a way that you want to, but we're still going to control it. And so now that the power is out of the players' hands and into the corporations' hands, it means things like this can happen. It means overnight your industry can just
and you know it means that the fortunes of that game don't actually have that much to do with the fortunes of the leagues around it and stuff like that. Like they are tied together. They're certainly, you know, hey, if a game is really hot in an esports sense and gets a lot of viewers, theoretically maybe more people try the game out or something like that. There is an effect, but Heroes of the Storm never felt huge, like as in terms, like, you know, outside of that bubble, someone who was always about as outside of that bubble as you can get. Heroes of the Storm launched as something that felt like, oh, they're putting this out because they're salty about losing the Dota name to Valve.
Yeah.
You know, and they're like, it almost felt like something they were doing to prove a point in a court case, and then now it's a game. Okay, sure.
And it made them some money, probably.
Yeah, totally.
Like
and it's, I'm not saying the game was good or bad. I fucking don't know.
Yeah,
but
I thought it was fine. Like,
I'm sure.
Really cool.
I'm sure it was fine.
Yeah,
but it never felt like it was contending for, you know, Riot's place in esports or Valve's place in esports when it comes to MOBAs. And so I feel like, you know, as a player of that game, wouldn't you kind of know, like, hey, this is not the biggest one? And wouldn't you also know, like, hey, at the end of the day, Activision runs this thing. You know what Activision likes? Money. Not because, like, they're especially evil or something like that. They're just another publicly traded corporation.
Yes.
And Blizzard's going through some changes that maybe means they're going to be a little more sensitive to that. And so, like,
It's
you know,
strange. Like it's really weird seeing this kind of turn on Blizzard, because for me, maybe it's because of my age, but I've always seen Blizzard as kind of one of the few video game companies that has seemed like immune. Like the fan base around it loves the product so much that they would never turn on it, and then even the people who don't love the games, like, were still like, oh, it's Blizzard. They made StarCraft. They made Warcraft. They're like this PC behemoth that is never going to, like, I mean, sure, a game hits or misses here and there's complaints here and there, but they seemed like one of the ones, like I would have said for Capcom for a while, was like that. And now you're starting to see this kind of shift, like between the Diablo Immortal stuff, the recent seasons of World of Warcraft. It's been kind of a weird.
I feel like WoW has been up and down a lot.
WoW has been up.
You know,
It's
like
always
people
been
are
up and
always
down.
angry about WoW.
Yeah.
But that's so off to the side of just like it's millions of players off to the side. But it's like kind of like, oh, everyone else remembers that game as being, oh, I had a great time with it. Whatever.
Yeah.
I'm glad they're still doing it. Whatever.
I stayed up 3 days straight playing it. It was great.
I pissed in my socks. That's what you're supposed to do, right? Oh,
I went through a lot of socks.
sopping wet socks. Yellow
There's
socks.
our episode.
Yeah. And yeah. So, but anyway, whatever. You know,
Kind of a related thing to this I saw last weekend was that they announced the lists of.
Yeah, I was gonna.
Or is that
the EVO Japan stuff?
Yeah.
Let me just wrap up here. There's a caster named Wolf. Is it Schreider? Says, as someone who's commentated Heroes of the Storm since 2015, I mostly really feel for the 200+ pro players who have lost their jobs via a blog post.
Yeah.
I always loved casting Heroes, so it's tragic to see it go so suddenly. And thanks for all the kind messages today, friends. Again, those are quotes that Kotaku found in their story on this topic. And yeah, it's like the idea of like, oh, players lost their jobs because this tournament went away. Like, it's just a weird.
It is weird, especially there's been some reporting recently about like how much players actually do make, and depending on the org, and it's just like less than minimum wage in
right.
some
Like, that's not,
circumstances.
that
Like,
shouldn't be a job, you know,
Yeah.
like that's it's been a long time since I've seen it, but they've put out lists of just like, hey, here's how, like what percentage of just general esports players are making like a living wage or better, like how many of them are cleaning up.
Yeah.
And like, it was very top heavy. It was just like the people at the top are doing great, but
like in the dozens.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. It wasn't like some huge thing. And I don't know. I feel for the players who, you know, who have put a ton of hours into this game thinking that they'd be able to play it competitively. But at the same time, you can still do it. It's not like they shut the game down. You're not going to be able to do it in a tournament setting run by Blizzard.
But there's not going to be that money.
But there's not going to be that money.
There's not going to be that money, but, you know, Melee lived for a long time without any sort of big stuff. Marvel 2 lived for like 11 years.
So maybe HOTS just goes back to being a scene, and it doesn't have to be some big money tournament.
If the passion
is
is there, if the player base is there, like, it could happen.
Yeah, and I think like I guess it's the reality of it, but something about it doesn't sit well with me. The idea of just like, well, money's gone. I guess the game's dead. Like, I'm only playing this so I can get paid.
Yeah,
it's fucked. It's like
esports,
that's esports, but I still think that's kind of a bad attitude to have about
isn't it?
these video games owned by other companies and corporations and stuff. It's not. Yeah, again, like your baseball analogy sort of applies. Not bad.
batting 300 with the analogy.
Yeah. Evo Japan game list got announced. Missing 2 very key games.
Yeah, I would say one extremely key and one. Yeah, I could.
One extremely key and one that you would expect to be there.
Yes.
What's the list?
The list is Tekken 7, Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle, Soul Calibur 6, Street Fighter 5, King of Fighters 14, and Guilty Gear Xrd Rev 2.
Okay.
And the announcement from Evo, we will be working with the gaming communities to support the other titles not included,
which include Dragon Ball Fighters and Smash Ultimate.
Yeah. And the word going around is that they have been barred from the lineup from the license holders or creators of those games.
Really?
Nintendo has, which Nintendo has always had a very
I can see
especially
Nintendo
in Japan.
especially in Japan. Nintendo's always had a very dicey relationship with fighting game tournaments in general, and you know, whether Smash was included or not, and whether they could stream it or not, even in the U.S. was a very tenuous thing. at a point, and so like I'm not surprised there. And the Dragon Ball thing probably comes down to Toei and the rights holders around Dragon Ball, the anime.
I guess, but man,
That is the word going on.
Yeah.
Specifically, is that it's them being like, no.
It's so weird too
it
because
has
they've
been
had
such
control.
a positive thing.
Presumably, they've had control of like the DLC and the characters that are
Yeah.
represented in that game. So like,
Right.
you know, because you see a lot of super stuff being added.
Mhm.
It's weird that they wouldn't want that.
It seems like a really good advertisement vessel.
Totally, because that game, like Jan, I think you can attest to this.
Yeah,
So
totally.
it was like at Evo that the experience, like of all the games experiencing live, that's the one that I was like, man, I want to go home and play some Dragon Ball.
Yeah, definitely. It seemed like there was more excitement around playing Dragon Ball Fighters than there was like Street Fighter at Evo,
Yeah.
at least from like the
yeah,
crowd.
and I don't know like what the scene in Japan for it is, if it's as big there,
Right,
if it's as big.
totally.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
then I guess like my take on it, again, as someone who's fucking not an esports fucking ready fighting game player,
Jeff Gerstmann, not an esports,
Not an esportsman.
fucking ready fighting game player.
Yet.
you're not having a legit tournament if Dragon Ball's not there. Like, period. And
Yeah.
I'm not throwing shade at Evo. I mean, they got to do what they got to do because fucking the law is the law.
Yeah.
And Japan is Japan. But that's terrible.
Or maybe
That's
they're gearing
fucking
up
terrible.
for their own sort of tournament.
Maybe.
thing.
Maybe. But like, why wouldn't you just have this too?
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't. No.
Make
I'm
this
not-
a stop on your Dragon Ball Fighters tour.
Yeah, I'm not going to go so far as to say that they're going to have their own like pro tour or anything like
Yeah.
that. But you know, their own themed tournament
In
it's just-
Japan.
yeah. It's
It's
hard to say.
possible. It's possible. But
No Melee either, huh?
yeah, no Smash of any kind
Okay.
on that list.
Yeah.
Has Melee been missing from Evo Japan?
So Evo Japan only started last year,
2 years.
2 years ago,
Okay.
and I don't think it was ever there. But Smash 4 was once.
I could look.
I'm
I
not sure.
believe Smash 4 was there once. The Melee scene's doesn't really exist in Japan. Like there's a
Interesting.
very, very small scene.
Okay.
But
Yeah, that's disappointing because I like after the fact going back and watching some wild Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
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 Some of the hypest moments
Yeah.
of that whole tournament.
Smash for Wii U was at Evo last year.
I see.
Evo Japan last year.
Got
Okay.
Rather. As was Blaze Blue Central Fiction, KOF 14. ARMS was there.
oh,
ARMS.
Yeah, it's weird.
What?
Like, yeah, Nintendo's had
So I wonder
a
if-
relationship. a
So
working
is that the
relationship with
concession that
Evo.
they make? Is like, hey, we'll let you play Smash, but you have to take
Nah.
ARMS.
No.
but
Yeah, I mean, that's not.
No.
That is not out of the question for.
Well, nothing.
I feel
is.
like the Nintendo and Evo relationship. Anyway,
yeah, it's strange.
sure.
And then a couple days later, the Arc Sys announced their new fighting game.
Really?
missed
The
that.
Grand Blue.
Oh,
It's a
Grand Blue Fantasy.
Grand Blue fighting game.
Mhm.
Actually, the style I think is really cool. It's
Cool.
it's a little more like painted than their normal
Oh,
stuff,
sweet.
but looks,
All right.
looks good.
that game. As my understanding is, that game has been making $1 zillion on phones
Every day.
Yeah, every single day. You know what else is making money?
What's that?
Fortnite. Let's talk
That's
about
right, baby.
it. And it's only a matter of time before people come and get that money from them.
It's my money and I need it now.
Yes,
I danced once.
I did this dance.
Here,
pay
check it out.
me.
It's called the Ben Pack. That's
That's good. That's good. I like that.
Hey, Ben Pack. Ah.
Hey.
That's a great dance.
And now
You had
Fortnite,
the,
if you're watching, put that in. Fortnite, if you're listening, stop listening now. I'm going to sue them.
that's smart.
I'm going to
Yeah.
sue the fuck out of them.
That's right. The Ben Pack dance trap. It's
Are
a
you on
famous
Spotify?
maneuver. Yeah.
Yeah, but I only got 4 songs.
okay.
All right. How many of them are about your dance?
2.
Oh, great. All right. You and Backpack Kid pretty much fucking nailing it. So that's Alfonso Ribeiro,
Yep.
who played Carlton on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Mm-hmm.
Also
where-
from Silver Spoon.
Also from Silver Spoons, yes. Also of the dance that has just become known as the Carlton over the years.
Yep.
Has decided to sue Epic for the inclusion of said dance in Fortnite, joining 2 Milli
Yes.
over the Milli Rock, and also Backpack
Yep,
Kid.
this just in as of 33 minutes ago. Russell Horning, a.k.a. the Backpack Kid, is suing Fortnite.
Which is his dance?
The
floss.
floss. The floss.
Yeah.
Well, he apparently invented flossing, which someone had to. So yeah, I don't know. It's interesting, of course, like now that, and also I believe Alfonso Ribeiro also sued 2K over NBA 2K19. If he's listening, that dance is also in Forza.
Oops.
It's in Destiny too, isn't it?
Something very similar. Yes, it is in Destiny as well.
Go get yours.
We'll see how that goes. I know, like we talked about this stuff. I think when the Millie Rock stuff came up.
Yeah.
Alex Navarro was at a studio producing dance video games for a while, and it seems like the general rule of law has been up to this point that you can copyright whole choreography, but not individual dances.
Really?
Yeah.
And so I feel like this has maybe already been tested, and I don't know that.
And none of them have even applied, or none of them have the rights to these dances.
I don't know. They may have trademarked. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you looked. Okay. Yeah, it may be a case where they could try to trademark them.
They
but don't
have attempted to trade. I said, the Backpack Kid specifically has filed a patent for the floss dance.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's
yeah. Well, so I think that has generally been where it's been, is that you cannot hold a copyright to an individual dance step, but an entire, like a music video's worth of choreography. Sure. Definitely can be protected and sued over and all that sort of stuff. Also, he created that Carlton dance as a part of being a paid actor on that program. Wouldn't that studio own the work?
I bet they would.
And not him?
I bet they would.
Didn't he copy that dance from a Bruce Springsteen music video?
Yes, he has in interviews has said, like, oh, it was like Courtney Cox's dance from Dancing in the Dark.
Yes.
Yep. And another, I think he cited another similar dance or whatever.
And in fact, the Polygon article I was just reading mentioned something that kind of first came to my mind was Backpack Kid participated in several epic events, including these celebrity pro-am Fortnite tournament.
That's right.
So basically,
where he was asked, do you think by TMZ, do you feel like you are owed any money for this dance? Do you think you should get anything for this dance being in Fortnite? And he said, no, I just think it's cool that it's in the game.
So I think what must have happened is like this Millie Rock thing happened. That was the first one through the door, and then we should look. I wouldn't be surprised if it was the same lawyer just going around and trying to build this into a larger lawsuit.
My little cousin Jimmy got a battle pass. He leveled it all the way up, and I see a lot of dances.
We're just going to go down the list and see where there's money to be. Because if you make it big enough and it becomes a big enough stink for Epic, you're increasing the likelihood that they just pay to make it go away.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think anyone's expecting this suit to go to court and win and all this stuff. Just everyone's trying to get a little bit of money out of Epic for it. And I think you could make the argument it's fucked up that Epic took these dances and just threw them in there. It's fucked up that video games do that.
Yes.
And I don't necessarily think that, like, they may legally be in the right. That doesn't make them morally right,
totally.
I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's using other people's creative works for their own fiscal gain.
And selling it. Yeah, and it's not just like, hey, here's this fun reference we put in here. It's literally like, oh, yo, we
buy
selling
enough levels in this battle pass, and you can dance like your fave.
Yeah. And so I get it, but yeah, I don't know. Also, in the wake of Infinity Blade being yanked off the iOS App Store, they put the Infinity Blade into Fortnite for a hot minute there. You showed me a video of like this was their like $1 million tournament.
This was one of the either a qualifier for the big tournament, or it was a tournament with consequences,
right? And that sword was in, and people like one dude killed like
13 people at the end with it. It was just completely broken.
They issued a statement saying
it was their first
Infinity Blade maybe potentially overpowered without good counters, especially in the end game.
It was it's their first, I think they're calling them legendary weapons, where they spawn at a particular point in the map. So, it's like this one spawned on top of this hill. And so everyone would drop there, try and get it. And then once you got it, it was basically a guaranteed win.
And I think that's super fun. I think doing that in the middle of like a competitive tournament may be a little fucked, but also,
it's not esports ready.
It's not. But also, like, what is esports? I understand the idea of like, hey, we're not going to put out a patch until after our big tournament is over.
Yeah,
Right.
That's always how Dota does it.
Yeah,
right?
and Street Fighter, they
Yeah.
put out a patch,
Sometimes during tournaments.
sometimes, yeah, sometimes during. But I don't know, like how many people are at that tournament, and what about the larger player base? Like, just change the game when you're going to change the game, and,
Yeah.
and the pro player should have to adjust on the fly, like whatever.
I mean, I think I'm think that guy rules for figuring out how broken that item was and going and getting it.
Yeah,
But like,
get paid.
if it's before like your big marquee event where you're going to say everyone's watching, like,
Yeah, maybe
it maybe makes
yeah.
your game look a little busted.
Maybe a little bit. And Epic thanked players for calling us out on this.
Calling them out.
Which is a way to put it, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yes, they have put the Infinity Blade back in the vault. We'll see if it comes out again. I don't know. Maybe they've like
The
rebalance it
chosen
and
one
put it
has
out
to
again.
pull it from
Season 8.
whoever
is
can
gonna be
floss the best.
Season 8, it'll be the exact same sword, but there'll just be a vault on the map. And if you find the combination to the vault or enough explosives to blow it open,
Sword's all yours.
sword's all yours forever.
So it's all
You're
your,
just
sword's
yours.
all yours.
Yeah.
Just put multiple swords on the map. That'll balance it.
Oh, yeah.
Just make it rain swords.
Just
Wild fucking
just
West out there.
here a playlist. Everyone just spawns with a sword. That's it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sword fun.
Perfect balancing.
I
right
love
there.
fun. Look at me.
I
Look at my
like-
fucking face.
I like fun.
I love it. I don't fucking like it. I take it seriously. I'm a funologist.
You only do your fun with items off.
That's not true at all. I like fun. I like chow fun.
Yum.
Speaking of Riot, they have sent an email around to employees about their COO, Scott Gelb, who has been put on 2 months of unpaid leave and some training for, let's see, what have I written here? For being a shitbag.
Shitbag.
Is what I wrote here. Kotaku's been reporting this story a lot about the culture at Riot, and this just seems like a pretty clear-cut case of like, here's some pretty strong examples of it. This guy just sounds like that just fucking frat house dumb shit that you're like, man, what? How the fuck? It is 2018. How the fuck are people still acting this way out in front of other people that they work with? Just this seems like something that you might do with your two closest friends, and maybe it would be okay. And even then
they'd
be like,
punch
dude,
you for
what the
it.
fuck, man? What the fucking fuck? So the current and former employees have alleged that he has participated in ball tapping.
Oh, fuck. I'm gonna,
Like flicking, or like the fucking stand here, touch you
Yeah.
in the balls.
like a
Look at you.
shitty Vince Vaughn
You
character.
flinched, bro.
Sort of.
What up,
God.
bro? Oh, gotcha, bro. Like, fuck off.
only 2 months? Fuck this.
Yeah, well, yeah, that is, yes.
Okay.
And also farting on employees or humping them for comedic effect.
Riot rules.
A guy in high school, okay, they used to have a thing called hypercolor shirts.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
I
all right,
remember.
okay, good. They would change color
Yeah.
when you got warm.
Yep. Farts are warm.
A kid farted on me. A kid
While
put
you
his
were
butt
wearing your
against my
hypercolor?
arm while I was wearing my hypercolor shirt in high school
That's rules.
and farted on me.
That kid now?
That kid, the
COO?
COO of Riot. No, fuck that guy.
You know what you did.
You know what? No, I just said what he did.
You know who you are.
You know who you are.
Did it change? Did it change? Did the arm change?
It's yeah,
Change a little bit.
changed maybe a little bit.
That's fucked up, but I really laughed at that.
Maybe a little bit.
They still sell those shirts?
I think they came back at one point and are probably gone again, if I had to
All
guess.
right. They'll come back then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they'll be back a third time. Yeah, some more quotes here saying like, it just became so normal, said one employee who witnessed the behavior.
Sure.
The ball grabbing and things like that. That was absolutely well known across the board. Other former employees who witnessed this believe that this style of bro comedy trickled down to the company's lower ranks.
Of course it did.
Yeah, no shit. If you see your manager doing something, you think, oh, it's cool if I do that.
It is never fucking cool to do that.
No.
Who the fuck would fucking...
Other people like him.
What
who
a
just weren't as lucky to land up in a spot like this.
Yeah, I guess, man. Fuck. The COO, Nicola Laurent, via email to employees. Here's just one quote from that email. Scott could have avoided owning his past and his consequences. He could have left Riot. Scott chose ownership and redemption.
Redemption.
I will
the
root for him,
farting.
will support him through this journey, and will leverage him as a great leader when he returns next year.
No,
I hope you will join me.
Fuck off.
We'll leverage
Fucking
him as
what?
Yeah,
I'm
sure,
sorry, dude. The fucking fart on dude is not a fucking great leader.
I'm sure his 2 months of unpaid leave, basically his 2-month vacation, is really going to teach him, and the training he has to take, which I'm sure he's going to give his full attention to.
Sure.
I don't want to talk too much shit about an
Yeah.
individual person ever, but like, this is just not how you handle it. This is not how you send a clear message to your company that this shit is not accepted here.
Yeah.
Is by like, fuck, man.
Humping them for comedic effect. Humping them. It's a
Oh, like I'm pretend.
Ha-ha,
like, I'm
yeah,
pretend
bro.
sex.
fuck yeah,
Ah.
dog. Hilarious.
I've seen Dan do that.
Well, talk to HR.
Not at work.
Okay.
Not at work.
Oh, well, that's okay.
Not at work.
Would a reasonable person
Not at
find
work
it?
to a subordinate.
God damn it. God damn it.
And fart on people and their food.
That's not okay.
I know. I know.
It's not okay.
Jason, if you
It's not
see
okay.
something, say something.
Yeah,
I did.
This
I
is
did.
there's a whole department here at this company that is taking that sort of stuff extremely seriously.
Mhm.
But if you
Tan Riker
accidentally
department.
fart, it's okay. Just own up to it.
Or blame the dog.
Never.
Yeah.
Battlefield 5 has made some changes and made some unchanges.
So it's the same.
So they're
Uh,
also doing the epic thing.
Yeah, pretty much. On Thursday, they rolled out some changes to the time to kill and some of the weapon balancing, designed to make players live longer.
Okay.
And they put out a quote. Although not extremely vocal within our deeply engaged community, we see from our game data that the wider player base is dying too fast, leading to faster churn, meaning players may be getting frustrated with dying too fast that they choose not to log back in and learn how to become more proficient at Battlefield 5.
I'm sure that's the problem.
Right, yeah. So they made that change and rolled it out. The community of people who are playing Battlefield 5.
So basically, sorry, would you then, like, is the change you just have more health, or?
Yeah, it's like, weapons are doing
Weapons
less
do less
damage.
damage, okay.
And, so, but the effect is that players are more bullet spongy
Yeah.
in a sense. They
Gotcha.
can kind of last a bit longer. And
They
yeah.
just moved the goalpost a little bit.
Yeah.
So those good players are just lasting even longer.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
I don't know.
Uh-huh.
That's the good change.
Well, the community did not take well to it.
Uh-huh.
I feel like the community has not necessarily taken too well to a lot of things about Battlefield 5
Mhm.
from the looks of things.
What community there is?
Yeah, kind of. It doesn't. I guess I don't have hard numbers, but I feel like anecdotally, talking to people around the fringes of things, it sounds like Battlefield 5 is not doing particularly well, and which would lead to them being like, "What the fuck is happening?
Yeah.
Holy shit!
must-
We got to stare at this data long enough. Okay, we think it's because the game is too hard. We need to."
Or it's like, oh god, we have this fraction of a player base. We need to figure out what we can change right now just to keep.
We need to slow
stop the
churn. We need to
bleeding.
get people back in, or exactly. And so I guess I understand why they would think to make a change like this. That change was rolled out, I think, last Thursday. Yesterday morning, they've got a much longer statement where basically they said, "Yeah, sorry, we're undoing all those changes." Along with those changes, they were going to roll out like kind of a hardcore playlist that was like more like, "Hey, here's how it was before for people who want that."
Hardcore.
After rolling out those changes last week, we've listened to your feedback, reviewed our statistical data, and made the decision to return to the original TTK values seen at launch. Our intent, and I'm paraphrasing a bit here, our intent was to see if we could evolve the Battlefield 5 experience and make it more enjoyable for new players while also making sure the Battlefield vets have a choice with a more core experience suiting their preferred playstyle. Clearly, we didn't get it right. Veteran players didn't ask for the change, but as game developers, we took it upon ourselves to make those changes based on extensive data and deliberation. It truthfully wasn't an easy decision for us. It's important to acknowledge that we have a challenge bringing new players into Battlefield 5 and onboard them to become more experienced Battlefield players. It's been a challenge across our games for a long time, as many will know, and becomes even more important for us to improve upon our post-launch experience with consistent updates to the game through the tides of war. Our desire to service a game that caters to old and new players will continue. How we get it right isn't easy, nor will it be quick, and we appreciate when the community comes together and helps us on our journey. Thanks for complaining. That's basically what they're saying there. I think that's a really fucking hard problem. I think Battlefield is.
Yeah, what do you do to?
It's like not like mechanically impenetrable. Like it's very easy to understand. It's a shooter. Like
Right.
you get it. You know, there are things around the edges of like the class-based stuff that you might not pick up out of the gate, but it's not
nearly as like run and gun as like
exactly.
Call of Duty. Yeah.
Totally. And I think that there's very much a skill split between people who have played a lot of Battlefield and people who have not. And I think crossing from one to the other is fucking. It's a wide fucking gulf. It's really hard to just put in the time and feel like you're getting better and all that sort of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I crossed back. Like I went, like on Battlefield 2, I was probably on the other side of it and then fell off of it for long enough to where I was like basically coming to it fresh with Battlefield 3 and 4.
Yeah.
And I played enough 4 to feel like I was starting to get okay at it. And then I fell away from it enough, through Hardline and some of that other shit.
How many people to a map?
64?
Jesus Christ. So it's not like you can just get like siloed off with, people that are around your skill level or something like that. So.
Well, it's,
there might be some of
think,
that,
but like, if the only people buying Battlefield are people that are Battlefield fans, and if the game is not doing that well this year, it seems like that would be, maybe it would skew even more in that direction this year than most. You might not have enough players of low skill to fill a server,
right?
And all that sort of stuff. So they try to pair you up in squads. And, you have a 4-person squad, so you kind of can have squad-based objectives that you go off and do a thing, and you feel within your 4-person group that you're making some kind of progress and doing something. But if everyone just runs off in their own directions for objectives because they have no idea what the fuck they're doing and how the matches flow, which is the sort of thing you need to put in time to learn. Yeah, it's hard. So I don't know. I think that they're fucking up against it. I think it's a really fucking hard problem to solve, like getting new players into Battlefield without completely alienating the players they have. I don't have a. If I had the answer for that, I'd be fucking making consultant money somewhere.
You'd be the Benz.
Yeah. So yes, as of today, as of this morning, they took the changes out and removed the playlist that was the kind of like, hey, here's the hardcore core mode.
Oh wow.
And reverted it back. And then they say here, we'll continue to clarify.
Thanks for calling us out on this.
Yeah. We'll continue to identify how we can improve the Battlefield 5 experience, and we'll have more information for you around those changes starting in the new year. So, clearly they're not done trying to figure this out.
Good luck to them.
Yeah, like I said, man, I get the impression that Battlefield 5 is not doing great. So they got to figure something out.
Loot boxes.
Yeah. What if they put in loot boxes? That's the thing that's missing.
Yeah, make it even across the board.
Previous games that did well with that stuff. Well, yeah. Just buy your way into new helmets.
Yep.
I like it.
And those new players will be like, hey, I'm getting something out of this.
That's right.
Yeah.
I look good. At least I look good dying over and over again. I'm face down in the muck, but check out this gold rifle I've got. We're going to come back with emails. We're going to take a break. Stretch our legs a little bit here.
If I'm ever humping you guys, feel free to ball tag me. Just to get me off.
I will not.
Well, not.
Wait, hang on.
No.
Hang on.
That came out.
Here.
That came out.
All right. Okay, we're going to take a break. I have to go talk to our HR business representative about what just happened. Sorry. And we're back.
Hey.
And we're back.
And we're back.
And we're back.
And we're back.
And
Come back in 5,
4,
3, and we're back.
And we are back.
We back.
With emails. Bombcast@giantbomb.com is the email address to send emails to if you want to send your emails to this podcast,
That's what I use.
where people will look at them. And we're back. And we're back with more emails. Like this one from Izzy-Beth in San Jose.
Hi.
This take might be this hottest take of the
Rolling up my sleeves for this take.
This is less of a take and more of a question. A take framed as a question.
Taketion.
Like, oh, I'm just asking an innocent
I'm just
question.
asking questions over here. Yay or nay to the following statement: no couching in is allowed. The FGC has done more to hurt fighting games than help.
What?
Nay.
Nay.
Yeah. On one hand, the fighting game boom post Street Fighter 4 was accelerated by better availability of Evo. On the other, the FGC makes shit so unfun, from levels to patches to trying to ruin Mortal Kombat and Smash Brothers.
What?
They're lousy with petty rules. Like, honestly, who gives a fuck if a game is balanced or if a level is too busy? Yeah.
I just don't understand from the top to bottom this question.
Well, I think some of it follows off of what we were saying about Smash Brothers, and I think that parts of that, which, you know, again,
first
not a
of
fighting
all-
game, so that's the PFGC.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
That's right.
That's a whole conversation.
Yeah.
Like a lot of Smash people don't consider themselves part of the FGC. Like,
Right.
That's a whole
Totally.
thing.
And yeah,
That's true.
I think, the same way that like people that would consider themselves part of the FGC do not consider themselves esports.
Yeah.
You know, that's ultimately relatively meaningless distinctions.
I thought
but-
this was going to be about how like there are shitty people in the FGC,
Yeah, and that,
That's
I think,
part of it.
which is
But-
true,
Yeah.
but
and I
Well, yeah,
think-
because in a lot of games there's a lot of gatekeeping,
Yes.
and you know
Mhm.
people don't want to.
it's a scene that grew from like you literally had to spend money to play. Like you had to put a quarter up on the
Totally.
machine, and you wanted to keep that quarter going for as long as you could, and that created a lot of like real competition, like real burning sort of.
Yeah, like heated non-gaming moments. Heated
Yeah.
fucking, I'm gonna fucking knock
Fights
your ass
happened
out
in
this
arcades.
bowling alley
Yeah.
if you don't stop fucking throwing me. Type shit. Yeah, but I think you can make a case that there have been elements, and you know, this is something that I think the scenes around fighting games have really come a long way. Whereas, you know, but like 5 years ago,
They've come out of the basement.
yeah, something like
Into
that.
our
Yeah,
hearts.
you know, like the early days. Well, not early days,
Of arcades, yeah.
but the early days of the days of, hey, is the fighting game community esports or not? Are we esports now? Yes, no.
Oh, jeez.
Like those days of fucking that type of gatekeeping and that type of like the fucking that Capcom reality show and those, like, that shit doesn't happen at the same scale
Yes.
it used to.
And then, like,
Fair.
if you want to specifically talk about Smash in here, you know, the people who play Melee in that extreme, you know, here are the 5 stages, here are the items thing, have not made Smash overall worse of a product. Like, the new
it's
Smash
like- it's a-
Ultimate is a lot of people's favorite Smash ever, and that exists.
It's like their thing off to the side doing their own weird thing. It's fun to point and laugh at them, but they are ultimately harmless.
And like there are going to be dicks who are say like, my way is the right way to play this game. You have to play this game without items. You have to play this game with items. Like,
I like to play Windjammers with the timer turned off.
well, fuck off,
What is
dude.
wrong
What are
with
you
you?
doing? It's just gonna create a.
But I can play it with the timer off.
Ah!
I just think that timeout victories and Windjammers are really
Yeah, I guess
underwhelming,
It was
so.
created as kind of a way to get your quarters faster.
Yeah, exactly. So
maybe
it's just
there is
kinda-
something to your.
I like to play NBA Jam in tournament mode. Turn off all the bullshit.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean that's.
Well, then you take
Well,
all
that-
the
that-
fun out of
that-
the game.
That's my items off, I guess. Is, you know, I play
I like
Blitz in
big
tournament
heads.
mode and no big heads. Fucking stop obscuring the fucking court. Fucking horse shit.
Stage is too busy now.
A passionate fan base is only going to lead to, well, not only, but a passionate fan base is more likely to lead to an evolution of the game, of the genre, of whatever, in a positive direction, because it means people are playing the game. It means people are happy about the game. It means they
Not
want
necessarily
it.
happy. Yeah, like passionate does not necessarily equate to being
Yeah, no.
like a happy scene. You know, it could
I
be
mean, like,
just the opposite.
yeah.
It could be completely toxic as well.
I do mean passionate in the positive way, like,
Sure.
but there is, yeah, as we've seen with lots of games, like with Marvel
Yeah.
Infinite, you know, there was a passionate scene around Marvel Infinite because they did not like that game.
Yep.
It wasn't a good game.
It wasn't a good game.
Yeah, I mean,
It wasn't a great game. It was pretty good.
It was okay.
It was okay.
Cameron writes in, on episode 561, your discussion during the email section included the topic of buying and eating chicken skin.
What's up?
Delish.
Dan expressed a desire for Kentucky Fried Chicken to sell just the skin, sans meat. Chicken skin is a favorite food for my 2 kids, a 5-year-old and a 2-year-old. It is common for me to come home from work.
Just this person trying to throw shade at Dan.
I mean, yeah, sure, why not? It is common for me to come home from work to my wife having cooked chicken for dinner and there is no chicken skin left on any of the meat.
They just picked it right off.
Often, my kids will flat out refuse to eat the actual meat and will throw a tantrum trying to get everyone else's chicken skin. This is like
Some prison bartering.
this is
shit.
about to this is like these every sentence is like a fucking another layer deeper into just like, yo man, maybe you should no, don't beat your kid.
No.
But
I used to be like, I'll save it till after the podcast.
we have actually called local butchers and meat markets to request whether they will sell us just the skin. No one will sell us just the skin.
Calling the wrong markets.
Recently, my mother-in-law has gone to the effort of removing the skin from chicken she purchases, placing the skin in individual Ziploc baggies like some sort of pre-packaged meal, and giving it to us to freeze and cook at a later time.
That's fucking weird and sweet.
This is like, I feel like
That's nice of her.
you've really bent in the direction of your kids' whims on this.
Yeah.
Like, look, I'm not going to tell anyone how to raise a fucking family or discipline their children or not. I'm not in a position to do that. But put your fucking foot down and be like, fucking eat the chicken. What the fuck are you doing?
Your kids are 2 and 5.
Starve.
Call it. So
You know when you get the chicken skin? When it's on the fucking chicken.
Yep.
I was an incredibly picky eater.
I still am.
I still am to a degree, but like I think I went a solid year only eating frozen pizza. Like that's how picky I was. And my parents kind of, they tried here and there to get me back on the straight and narrow, but the most clever thing they ever did, maybe you can try this, is kids are idiots. So one time I was at my cousin's house, and I learned this after the fact, but my cousin called my mom, was like, hey, I only have this chicken to make. I know he doesn't really like. I would eat the nugget. I would eat the fried part off a chicken nugget and then throw away the rest of it.
Whoa.
Okay. Because you're a bad.
I was a bad kid.
Yeah. How old were you here? 24,
this is-
25?
This was like 7.
Okay.
My mom said, just tell him it's fake chicken. So he cooked up some chicken breast, said, hey, this is fake chicken. It's magic or some shit. I don't remember
It's
what
magic
he said.
or some shit.
He said something. He called it fake chicken, and I ate that shit right up. I was like, damn, this is good. This is one of the best things I ever had. And so my mom started making fake chicken for me
Fake chicken.
for the next couple years. You don't have to do that exactly, but there's lots of things you can do.
We do what we got to do.
I've had
Sometimes.
some
had
some
some
fake
fake-ass
chicken,
chicken.
some actual fake chicken.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
good.
no, actual fake chicken's fine too, but this was real chicken.
This was real chicken.
My parents got me to start eating chow mein by telling me, like, oh, this is different spaghetti.
That's one way of putting it.
Different spaghetti.
And then I love different spaghetti.
Yeah.
Damn.
Hook me up with some of that different spaghetti. That just sounds filthy.
None of that same.
I'm looking for a new kind of spaghetti.
Cameron also has some tips here. If any of you find yourself in a scenario where you need to cook chicken skin and just the skin,
Not there.
I'd recommend laying it out on a pan and placing the pan on the top rack of an oven for 60 to 90 seconds in the broil setting.
Okay.
This method gives it nice and crispy, and the result has received the best reviews from my children.
Well, good. Okay.
I think, I would take that chicken skin and put it on top of a salad and be like, you got to eat this whole fucking thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, what are they eating with the chicken skin? Like
Yeah.
mashed potatoes?
You can't
or?
live off chicken skin. I mean, I guess you could up to a point, but that's like,
They're going to get scurvy.
yeah.
My son's lived
Yeah,
off
you
of like
put a
hot
little lemon,
dogs
squeeze
for
a little
3 years
lemon
now.
over it,
Hot dogs?
Pretty much hot dogs.
But okay, do those hot
Pretty
dogs
much.
have buns and condiments?
Sometimes
buns.
Sometimes buns.
Okay.
But he does eat other stuff, but like his go-to is definitely hot dog.
Hey,
Yeah.
it's not. There's no problem with having a go-to. I mean, kids
Yeah.
are going to be picky eaters naturally. They're going to latch onto their early favorites. I feel like that's a pretty normal thing.
But as long
Even
as
in the case of chicken
as long as
skin,
you're getting other stuff.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I feel like the
Not-
minute you start like,
Calling butchers.
yeah, the minute you're like calling butchers and other members of your family are just like, I saved you the chicken skin because I know the kids like it. Like that seems like a problem, Cameron. That seems like a problem.
Thanks for listening.
Adam from Denver. Over the past few months, I've been getting back into RuneScape.
So there's a lot of people. There's a lot
Yeah.
of people getting back into RuneScape.
Me
After-
too.
Because they put out that
How?
mobile. There's like
Yeah.
a new mobile
Okay.
thing.
Oh yeah.
After 10 years away from it, at first I had the experience you've talked about a few times when returning to a game, getting flooded with notifications for new features and barely recognizing the game anymore, so I left within the week. Turns out old school RuneScape was what I really wanted to be playing since Jagex deployed an old build from 2007 they had laying
Jagex.
around practically. With a fair number of people excited for World of Warcraft Classic, I'm certainly not alone in wanting the nostalgia of an old online game, warts and all. Do you think there are any other games that could benefit from a legacy version running parallel to the current build?
It's never going to be as good as you remember it.
Yeah.
Like, nostalgia is tricky that way, where the memory of the event is one thing, like the memory of the game, whatever. It was a time in your life that you have a fondness for, and that only gets better as time goes on. You remember it differently. You forget about the bad things. You remember the good things in a different way. Like,
Yeah.
it never is what you want.
Leave that memory locked up inside and just revisit it every once in a while. You don't need to like immerse yourself in it.
Some of that stuff reminds me of like as Counter-Strike changed and the people that would be like, oh, 1.6 beta,
1.6
and
for
all,
life.
like all that other stuff. And at the time, as someone who didn't play a lot of Counter-Strike, I was just like, fucking whatever, man. I'm trying to think if I have anything that comes close to this. I think for me, it's that NFL Blitz 99 is the exact sweet spot for that entire franchise. And the stuff they added in Blitz 2000, I don't think improves the game. And I think kind of gets in the way. That's sort of a weird thing because it's like an annual franchise. It's not necessarily. But if I'm playing Blitz, that's the version I would like to be playing.
Yeah.
I guess certain versions of Tony Hawk.
It's like those are like full, like all the levels are different. Like that's like, you know, Tony Hawk's like Mario.
Right.
On a skateboard.
Super Street Fighter 4.
I was going to say that, you know, any fighting game that starts with indestructible.
Yeah, I listened to Indestructible last week,
Yeah.
the week before, and it brought back memories of a simpler time,
Just for a moment.
a glorious time.
Yes.
What a great song. It should be in Street Fighter V. If it had been like,
They want to get back on track.
here's this fake ass, not evil Ryu,
Yeah.
but also indestructible plays.
I could.
It's a new costume called Indestructible Style,
I
and
could
when you
even-
pick that costume, it always plays that song.
I could forgive the G character. That's no,
She's the
maybe-
only
maybe
good
not.
character they've added.
Fuck no. God, he's the worst.
Yeah. Anthony in Tampa. Your discussion about Smash Brothers and how Sakura and company refused to do just what the fans want made me think about the struggle. That's why I said, what did I say?
Sakura.
Yeah.
Sakura.
Sakurai. Is what the actual.
Whatever.
Yeah. Anthony also got it wrong. Struggle where many companies are going through now where they have a dedicated fan base that wants everything catered to them, but the company has a vision that doesn't align or they're trying to appeal to a wider fan base. I think Smash has largely been successful at holding true to their vision while giving the fan base enough to keep them satiated, but I feel like this problem is only going to get worse for devs as games as a service become more and more prevalent. Should companies make the game they want and damn the rest? After all, those people became fans of an idea they liked, or should the fans dictate what devs do?
It's a tough call.
It's a really tough question.
I think
Fans are usually
yeah.
pretty stupid, but also they're the ones buying the damn game.
that was kind of
Also, is this a passion project from the developer, or is it, you know?
Or is it something where they're trying to sell as many copies as possible? Like, you know, the sales goals and business goals are going to be different things. And those business goals are going to change from like month 1 to year 5 also, when it comes to player retention and all the other stuff. And so even the ways they go about that stuff changes as a game goes on.
Have any of you seen The People vs. George Lucas?
No.
It's a movie that kind of talks about this idea of like when somebody creates something, are they creating it for themselves or for the audience? And you know, there's really no like firm answer to this question. Where I get frustrated with instances like, let's talk about Smash specifically, is stuff like, okay, you know, I can personally excuse the way the online matchmaking works in lieu of them wanting to do certain things, or the way the character unlocks. But then there's stuff like, okay, they patched the game and they put out their patch, and the patch said gameplay and balance changes.
Right.
Just one line that says that.
Yeah.
There's no reason to like.
Yeah.
To not
get
there
very
is
specific.
a record of what you guys have a record of what you've changed in your file somewhere.
I think that's really in this day and age, bad patch notes.
It's more like
are
tone deafness.
Yeah.
In that sort of regard of like, oh, people don't really care enough to see
like
this.
there's no fun in trying to figure out what changed.
Yeah.
There's no like fun from the player base in terms of just like,
Like,
well,
oh, this attack did 10% more knockback. Holy shit.
yeah, and having to measure it and fucking figure out that yes, that was 10%, and all that sort of stuff. Like that's not fun. That's just not fun at all. I think that dealing with feedback in anything, what we do and stuff like that, it's the ideal. We complain about WWE and like the stuff that they're out there doing, and I actually think that the way that they said it in terms of we're going to do what the fans want now is bullshit. I don't think they'll actually do that. And also there are so many fans of that thing that all want different things that, they can't, like, I think Cesaro should be the fucking top guy they got and he should be the champion forever because damn, he's good.
Yep.
He's great in the ring and he's hilarious and Cesaro. Fucking put the belt on Cesaro. But like everyone else can be like, nope, it's got to be Fandango. Like, all right, I guess. So
that's me.
Yeah,
I
that's
want
you.
to be
You
Fandango.
want Fandango on top. Like, all
Hell
right,
yeah.
that's why there's Raw and SmackDown.
Okay.
And then once a year, Cesaro and Fandango can collide in a
Only if.
weird fucking draw finish that makes everyone look strong. So I think handling that feedback and I always feel like the right way to handle feedback is actually not too far off from some of the stuff that we said about Battlefield, even if I think they maybe addressed it weirdly. It's that idea of like trying to anticipate what the community wants and doing that before they're asking for it so that you are surprising them and being less reactive. I think when you look at negative feedback, when you look at stuff and think like, okay, it's very easy to be very reactionary and be like, oh, I saw 2 complaints about this thing. We better pull it back. And like, no, actually, we made these decisions for incredibly sound reasons and fucking fully believe in them. That doesn't mean that it can't be better, but generally speaking, you probably shouldn't just be taking the solution from the feedback.
Yeah.
It's really like you're trying to find the symptoms of like, okay, what's getting in this person's way? It's like when I'm filing, when we're talking about the redesign, or when I'm like filing bugs with, or like, hey, this could, there's a thing on the back end where like entering podcasts onto the site probably needs to change a little bit, and I think it may be changing soonish because there were a couple instances where podcasts were going up attached to the Bombcast RSS feed instead of the appropriate one.
Sure.
And a few cases like that. So the thing, I used to do this all the time, and I still catch myself doing it, but I try not to suggest solutions because I'm not a designer. I'm not an engineer. I don't know what actually, what the right way to do this from like a code perspective or from a design perspective is. All I can really do is report, this is happening. I have a suggestion that maybe this is a way to solve it, but like I'm not.
Identifying the problem is
like
your
this
main...
is the problem, and I trust that there is a solution to this.
Yeah. Totally. It's easy to like look at, let's say, you're on the Fortnite subreddit and there's
all
a
the
post
time, every day I'm on there. That's right.
Let's say you're the community manager of Epic and you're on the Fortnite Reddit and just kind of reading what's up, and you see like a thread with 300 upvotes that says, I don't like the way the shotgun feels. And you look at the top comment and it's like 140 upvotes. Yeah, the shotgun sucks. It's really easy to be like, man, the shotgun sucks. But then you're realizing this is a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of your audience. And yes, it might be more of the passionate people. And we talked about how passionate can go 2 ways. But it might be, this is the people who are on Reddit talking about this stuff are the people who feel the most like they want change and sort of stuff like that. Yeah. But you really have no idea if the greater audience as a whole...
Especially in a case of a game like Fortnite where like it's impossible to directly reach a lot of those players because they're just not engaging with anything anywhere. They're just playing the game and whatever.
Yep.
And you'll see the numbers dip or something if you've made a change. Like so you have data to kind of represent that larger
like if the
player
Infinity
base.
Blade, it's like if they saw a drop off over a day, it's like, okay,
people just going, well, I'm not playing because I don't know where the sword is.
Tie 1-to-1.
Yeah. And so that stuff's valuable in a sense, but you have to kind of remember what it is. And it is that vocal minority. It is that kind of like smaller, more easily agitated selection of your fan base, especially for something like Fortnite that is so huge. It's got to be hard. But, whatever. There are people whose full-time job it is to go into the communities for these games and just try to compile reports for developers that say, here's what the community thinks at large. Or, we've got, and to contextualize that in terms of like, here are the actual numbers associated with this. Right. And maybe we can equate that to, hey, maybe you can expand it out to where, hey, if 140 people on Reddit are pissed about this thing, we can kind of scope that into 8% of our player base, or try to blow it up and try to make it more representative. But you're really just kind of guessing at that point, or making educated guesses. But yeah, there are people whose whole job is to just like, hey, here's what people are talking about. They think that this sword may be bad. They think that this gun might be too powerful. They think that this skin looks like shit. And they, generally speaking, that's what they're saying. And, you're not suggesting like, you definitely need to nerf this gun. You're just saying, here's what they're talking about. And it's up to the people that are crunching the numbers and doing the real work to sit down and be like, is this a problem? Or is this a byproduct of something else we fixed that we need to change? Like, like there's so many moving parts in a game that it might not even be as simple. It's rarely as simple as like, okay, yeah, you're right. We made that gun worse. Like, no, it's usually like, oh, well, in context, it actually means that these 3 guns are too good, but do we want to balance everything up or balance everything down? Me personally, I think balancing everything up is more fun, in a fighting game context anyway. Like, give everybody cool shit to do.
Yep. Wild West. That.
Yeah. But just balance it out that way. Like, hey, we gave everybody the Wild West fucking move set of fucking bananas ass shit to do. Yeah, it's fucking hard. Nick writes in, what happened to Spy Jinx? I haven't heard any news on it since it was announced in 2015, yet Epic still has a page for it on its website. I looked at the Spy Jinx Twitter, and the last update they made was in December of last year. Is it dead?
Who's got time for Spy Jinx?
Yeah, when Fortnite is out there. It's,
right.
I don't know. Yeah, Spy Jinx was the game they announced in conjunction with J.J. Abrams.
Oh, okay.
And it was going to be... Yeah, I don't know. I heard some things about it. They didn't say too much out there publicly about it. I had a conversation about it that made it sound like it could be kind of cool.
Yeah, I was trying to remember what Spy Jinx was, so I Googled it, and the third result is a picture of Fortnite.
Yeah, that's what happened to Spy Jinx.
Okay. I think J.J. Abrams was like calling Epic going, hey, guys.
Hey,
and they're like, we don't need you.
Guys, at the very least, because I've been working on this dance. Maybe you could put it in the game.
Sorry, who's this?
I made Lost.
What's that? Get Lost.
I'm going to go make another Star Wars.
Yeah, have fun with that. We're over here making 9 Star Warses a day.
Just going to put some lens flares in Fortnite now.
There you go. Problem solved. That's the Spy Jinx pack. It is just
lens
flares. Yeah, I don't know. I would like to think that Epic will someday make more games.
They got a whole store now.
Yeah, but you have games that are not theirs.
Well, I mean, they got a place for those games.
And they've got work to do on that store. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, what do they got now? Unreal Tournament is not in active development. Right. They've got Fortnite.
And like Survive the Night in Fortnite.
Yeah, and creative in Fortnite.
Yeah.
And the esports scene in Fortnite.
Right. I would like to think that Epic would make it. There was another mobile game that they did. I don't know if it ever came out. Like a puzzle game or something.
I can't.
Fortnite Mobile.
I'm sure that...
Yeah, you're thinking of Fortnite.
Oh, right. Sorry. Yeah, I was thinking about Fortnite for iOS.
You're always thinking about Fortnite for iOS, though.
It's true. Yeah, because I keep submitting my dances to them, and they don't get back to me, and I'm like, what the fuck, guys?
They need to steal it from you. You can't bring it
I'm really surprised they haven't had some sort of, like, dance competition... Like, get your dance in Fortnite. We're looking for the best dance in America.
Now they
it's
will.
Like a Pringles flavor thing, or the Lay's,
Yeah, the Pringles flavor thing. If you can do the best Pringles-oriented dance.
Where your Pringles at?
Chips.
I call this one the getting the last one out of the tube. You just shake your leg around.
All right. I like it.
Get your hand stuck in there.
There's just a sadness and a thirst of like brand, like people trying to glom onto whatever the biggest thing is. And I've seen like some of that with Fortnite in ways that just like.
Oh, so you watched Jimmy Fallon last night?
No, weirdly enough, I didn't.
Didn't like the PGA have?
Yes, that was fucking
fucking shit.
golf I got a press release from Golf
Golf at golf.golf.
that said, "Hey, we've got this video of golfers doing dances from Fortnite. You want to put it on? You please put this on your website, and please credit it to this social media account. If you retweet it on social media, you must include at golf, whatever the fuck, I don't know, at golf _official _ no really."
Golf Vivo.
Yeah. And it's just sad. It just made me sad. It was just like, we got to get people caring about golf. What can we do? What are the kids like? All the other sports are doing Fortnite shit.
We can't have the golfers drooling, so we got to have them do something.
And so it was this video montage of some dude with a fucking tablet or a laptop or something out on a golf course, holding it up for the golfer to see, and then him going, "I'm not going to do that," and then cut to him doing it, like kind of poorly. And it was just like,
really
fuck this, man.
I remember you telling us about that when you got it, and I didn't watch it, but now I kind of want to watch it.
Do you think Golf paid Fortnite to put golf carts into Fortnite, hoping that it would draw kids into playing golf?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Check out my YouTube video describing this conspiracy theory.
That's right.
Real game conspiracies.
Yeah.
.golf.
Golf.
Golf conspiracies. _ games. .gov. Yeah, man. That stuff. The brand thirst to try to matter is just fucking sad. Gilbert in Marietta, Georgia writes in with a hell of an ask here. The recent launch of the PlayStation Classic and the curious decisions around the final product got me thinking about what I really want from these classic consoles, specifically Nintendo, but others could pull this off as well. It's a stretch, but here is my vision of a Nintendo Christmas miracle. I'm going to say the most understated thing in this entire email is the part where Gilbert says, "It's a stretch." Because fuck, man, this is a list. Nintendo launches a Game Pass-like subscription service with access to a gigantic rotating library of their backlog from the NES era up to GameCube.
Jesus.
You can access this on your Switch. Price it at about $30 a month.
Okay.
Release internet-connectable versions of the classic consoles up to the GameCube Classic. Allow individual console subscriptions for just the rotating catalog of games for that specific classic console. Charge $10 per console.
Oh, boy.
Include 1 free month with every console.
Nope.
If you have the $30 all-in-one subscription, you have all of it unlocked. Simply signing into your Nintendo profile on the classic console will unlock it and add the device to your profile.
It's that easy.
Still charge a separate fee for online access and features a la Xbox Live and Xbox Game Pass.
For sure.
I can only imagine a complete set of mini consoles under my TV, and whenever I want the native experience with the controllers and everything, I just start up the console and play. What would you guys wish for as your gaming Christmas miracle? For starters,
Sonic
Gilbert, that's
Kiss.
just... Oh, no, go ahead.
Go
No,
ahead.
For starters, Gilbert, that's just not going to happen that way. The subscription service, I think, is ultimately the right approach. And Nintendo's NES thing is like a decent first step, and Game Pass is a good step for newer games and all this sort of stuff. But for a variety of business reasons, it's just not. This just is not feasible. Go on. What did you...
I was gonna say, especially with them being so harsh on emulation stuff, it really kind of, to me, sends the message that, hey, we really want to sell you these games, more than we want to like sell you the ability to play these games.
And also, like the hassle, a lot of these games are not necessarily worth playing. It's great to have them at your disposal in a museum-like setting, in a like a theoretical sense of just like, I really want to see this game for 5 minutes, but I'm not going to play through it all the way ever again.
I just want to remember what it was like to play Jungle Book on Super Nintendo.
Exactly. And you need about...
then I beat the first level.
And you're like, okay.
Yeah.
That's enough. That's good enough.
But licensing makes that stuff a nightmare. And, I think we've gone on at length about the reasons why... things like that PlayStation Classic console are missing all of the games you want, or all the games that like should be there.
Yeah,
like a Tony Hawk game or like Gran Turismo. It's all licensing. They can't put out the licensed cars on another console without going back and doing new business deals with all those car manufacturers. Tony Hawk's got the music and the skaters now too. You know, Tony Hawk's not even under contract with Activision anymore. So it's just that sort of stuff is standing in the way of ever like making a good legal version of, you know, the whole kind of emulated thing. And I just don't see that changing. I feel like if that was going to change, someone would have come along and done something like that by now. There's a service they're trying to start up, a streaming, which is even more bizarre. Like, hey, play old games via a video stream. Not like those old games were designed with very tight timing in mind or anything like that.
Right.
Play it on a video. Like, no thanks.
I just want Santa to bring me some taiko drums that are licensed for the U.S.
Yeah. Let's just import some taiko drums.
No, I want it legit.
You want the drums to exist in America for all Americans to enjoy.
Yep. We got to spread the word, man.
I like it. I like it. Carl in New Zealand writes and says, what game series do you wish was bigger than it was? I still think that Klonoa, with its great use of 2.5D and great dark story, deserves to be more than a few cult classics and a beach volleyball game. Thanks and keep up the good work. Klonoa is fantastic.
That should have been on the PS Classic.
Sure. Yeah, that would have been a great addition.
Yeah.
Klonoa, fantastic video game.
A little cat rabbit thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever Klonoa is.
I know what Jan's going to say.
Tamba.
Yep.
Yeah.
He likes
Wholeheartedly.
He likes
I
those
want my
bigs.
pink-haired wild boy.
Mm-hmm. Wild Boys, I would say.
Yep.
They need to bring that back and make it a video game.
Hell yeah.
What about Lucky and Wild? What if they made a Wild Boys?
What if it was a Wild Boy, Lucky and Wild Boys?
Boys.
It's 3 players now.
Oh shit! What does the third player do? They turn the radio off and on.
Staple his nutsack to his leg over and over again. It's just Steve-O doing that. You just have a staple gun controller over there. You're just...
I'm gonna say
stunk, stunk.
Mystical Ninja.
Okay.
The Goemon.
Some more Goemons.
Some more Goemons. You know, there's been a lot. There's only been a couple that got released over here.
Mm-hmm.
I think you've got a whole cast of characters to play with there. I think they're like light, kind of funny storytelling would play nowadays really well.
Yeah. I think those are
Get some
solid
hunger meters in there, some thirst, some
Okay.
encumbrance.
All right.
Oh,
I
you don't
think
want that.
Dynamic weather, so you can't ride impact if it's raining.
Goemon already has a lot of thirst in it.
Yeah, Ebizumaru.
Yeah.
How about some cookies and cream? You guys want some cookies and cream?
Yeah, that'd be
That'd be
I don't
fun.
know
fun
anything about
co-op
cookies and
thing.
cream.
God damn
Cookies
it.
and cream as the Wild Boys.
Oh, shit.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'd be fucking each other over all the
Whoa,
time.
okay.
Oh, man.
All right. I thought that was going somewhere else.
Oh.
I was like, man, that's hot.
Yep.
Tom in Melbourne,
You
Australia
got
writes
your
in and
cream
says-
in my cookies.
Oh, God. Tom writes in and says, is Fortnite a video game?
Yes.
This is a question we used to get, and the answer was uncertain.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's the video game, dude.
Damn.
Yeah, it's big. Joe in New York writes in. Joe in New York writes in.
I like when you choose the emails, Jeff, because you sigh before every other one of them.
I finally got an email response from Bethesda for the canvas bag replacements. Here's what it says.
Oh, poor guy.
And then Joe has pasted in what he got from Bethesda customer service. Greetings. Thank you for your interest in receiving a Power Armor Edition canvas bag replacement. Your request has been validated, and you're approved to receive your new canvas bag once it has been manufactured. Please allow 4 to 6 months for manufacturing and delivery.
Yeah.
4 to 6 months.
Servers
To make a
from
bag.
Fallout 76 aren't even going to be online in 4 to 6 months.
In the meantime, we are ensuring that everyone who is eligible for a new canvas bag receives 500 complimentary atoms.
Damn.
If you've not already received your atoms, please stand by. Get it?
6
Get it?
months.
Please stand by. It's a
4
very
to
Fallout thing to say.
4 to 6 months.
While they are applied to your account, this may take a couple of days. Once we have confirmed the atoms are in your account, you will receive another confirmation email. Thank you for your patience.
4 to 6 months.
4 to 6 months. I am of two minds of this. One, they had already designed the bag and shown it in some kind of thing. You'd think that this would not take 4 to 6 months to like get approved and manufacture.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
On the other hand, we spent over a year putting together hockey jerseys. But we didn't take people's fucking money for them until
Right.
we had the design in,
Or you didn't show them a hockey jersey and send out like
right, yeah. It's like, here you
mesh
go.
tank top.
Yeah.
Well, Please look forward to.
Yes.
Please
stand by.
keep
Please
us
stand by.
updated.
Please stand by.
When you get your bag, please let us know.
We'll take
I
you
don't
off
need
the
to
list.
know.
Yeah.
No, I need to know.
All right.
Enjoy those 500 atoms.
Yeah.
When you
There's
get them.
I haven't dug into it, but I saw some news going around today that it seemed like players were getting increasingly dissatisfied with the atoms store in Fallout 76. I don't know how many different ways there are to get angrier with that game, but it sounded like maybe people found a new way, a new thing to not like about that game. You'd think that at some point they would just stop playing it completely.
Think about the people who are still playing it now and still like.
I thought about yesterday. I almost fired it up just to see what would happen. Like, would my Xbox catch on fire, or like, what?
Todd Howard is just gonna step into your house and slap you across the face.
I probably deserve it. Joe in Connecticut writes in with the Smash Brothers tips.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Hear this.
There are multiple ways to unlock characters. In the fastest case, it can be done in about 2 hours.
Okay.
And he rolls out the different ways you can do it. First, you have the adventure mode, which unlocks characters in the normal game when you unlock them in the single player mode. This is the most time-consuming, but maybe the easiest way if you're not so great at the game.
Huh.
So is that if you play World of Light and unlock characters there, that unlocks them for...
Yes.
Okay, that's good. I meant to check that because
The bummer is like the characters are in fixed locations, so if you really want to play a certain character and they're like one of the last ones you get to, you're gonna play that for 20 hours before you see them.
At least you have an idea,
But you do have an idea, yeah.
as opposed to it being
You can
random.
like Google a
you know.
map of World of Light
yeah,
locations.
you wouldn't have that idea without looking it up.
Yeah.
And the mode doesn't tell you. Second is the classic mode. Classic mode unlocks characters in a path based on which character you play as. For example, playing as Yoshi will unlock Lucario. Playing as Yoshi or Lucario it's Lucario, not Lucario, right?
Yeah. Lucario, yeah.
Yeah. I know in different regions the pronunciation for some of these character names is different. There's some fun videos
Like Yoshi.
of exactly. Or Yossi.
Mario.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No, that is not one of them. Lucario will unlock Marth. Playing as one of those will unlock Ryu. Each path has, what's that? 9 unlocks in it with very little overlap, with the exception of Sonic apparently being the final unlock in 6 of the 8 paths.
What?
So you can play classic mode over and over again and get stuff that way.
That's what I did towards the end.
Yeah, that
Anyway.
seems like a way to go. Third is just playing the game. The criteria is time and distance traveled. After a certain amount of distance is covered in actual matches, a challenger will appear if enough time has passed since the last challenger. That time is 10 minutes, but is reset when the game is restarted.
Yeah.
The third method is the fastest because distance traveled is independent of time and cumulative. That means you can set up a 2-player match, run player 1 back and forth on the stage for 15 minutes, and then kill player 2 to end the match. Afterwards, starting a 1-stock fight and then jumping off the stage to end it immediately will cause a challenger to appear. You can do this every 10 minutes, or closing the game and starting it up again to get a challenger immediately. You can get around 20 to 30 challengers by spending around 15 to 20 minutes running around. Doing that a few times will get you all the fighters in around 2 hours.
That's... So I was on a really good loop. What I would do, no time limit, 1 stock, jump off the edge, get a new challenger, get that character, play 1 more where I just jumped off the edge. After that, I would reset the console, go back in, 1 stock, jump off the edge, get another challenger. And that was consistent for probably about 20 characters or something like that.
Yeah.
And then it just stopped doing that.
Well, it seems like if you just do the running around stuff up front,
Right.
then...
So then I tried things like that.
Yeah.
And it was inconsistent.
Okay.
It was very inconsistent. So I don't know.
All right.
This shit is
I
ridiculous.
think I might just keep playing the adventure mode.
Just
because
keep doing
that's,
that.
That's been the part I've been enjoying, I
This
guess.
this seems useful if you're like somebody who is interested in maybe setting up a tournament or something. But yeah, honestly, you're gonna burn yourself out if you come into that game with the mindset of I need to unlock everyone right away or I'm not gonna have fun.
Yeah, that's been one of those things that, like, on paper, the idea of unlocking characters I think sounded really bad, but in practice, I don't actually care because I'm playing the adventure mode and enjoying it.
Did you see they also made the AI fights a little bit easier to unlock?
Is that what they did? Because it says the patch notes, as helpful as they are, just say we've adjusted the difficulty. It doesn't say up or down.
I think
it just says
down.
adjusted. I figured it would have to be because I guess as you unlock more, the difficulty goes up.
Yeah,
so.
I definitely lost to Isabel 7 times in a row.
I got Isabel last night. I don't think I like Isabel. I mean, I like Isabel just fine, but not necessarily in the game.
Damn her.
And our last email here from Brian. As an early cord cutter, I've never had a cable subscription. My PlayStation has always been my main media viewing device. The only problem is that to watch Giant Bomb premium content, I have to use the built-in browser, which sucks big time.
Uh-oh.
Have you guys ever considered making a PS4 or Xbox or whatever app? I would sign up in a heartbeat and would gladly pay for the app, as it would be a huge convenience. Thanks as always for doing yo thing.
How much are we talking?
Yeah, I got an app. You got to email me directly, though. Can't tell anyone else about it.
Secret app. There is an app on the Xbox. On the Xbox One, if you search for Giant Bomb, there's someone because they have a much more open store.
Yep.
With much more open policies about what gets published there in terms of apps. So there is a Giant Bomb app in the store for Xbox One that I haven't looked at it in a couple of months, but last time I checked it out, it worked great.
Okay.
Maybe get yourself a Roku. Even if you don't have,
I might not get. I might get an Apple TV.
Yes.
If you're
Get
looking to
yourself some
buy
sort of
a
box.
yes, if you're looking to buy a device almost specifically for Giant Bomb functionality, I would probably go with Apple TV over Roku.
Right now.
Get an Apple TV. Basically, you don't need, like, those things are good if you have a cable subscription. I don't, and I still use it because I got Hulu, Netflix. Like, it's just got all those other weird Crunchyroll.
Roku's fucking.
And I think like a lot of those services also have apps on consoles as well. So if you already have the consoles, you might not need a device. But this is we don't currently have a PS4 app, and we don't currently have one in the works, and that's unlikely to change in the near future. It is something we looked at, but their store is very different from the Microsoft store in terms of what is cost, all that sort of stuff, like top to bottom. It was not something that is viable for us at this time, I guess is what I would say. But we're on that Xbox. Someone out there, used our API to gin up a fantastic app there. If you want it, and then we're on Apple TV. That one's pretty well maintained. We're on mobile, and in some cases, this is something we need to have a list of what works and where to get it, because a lot of it is kind of made by the community using our API and all that sort of stuff, and all that sort of stuff. I know there's like a Plex plugin, but Plex is deprecating plugins.
I'm not sure that like it works anymore. I'm not sure.
There's an unofficial variant of it.
Oh, really?
That does, but I don't have it installed because I don't use plugins in Plex, which I suppose is part of why they are making plugins less of a thing.
That would be a roundabout way to get it on PS4, though, I would think.
Oh, sure. Yeah. If you were running a Plex server, and then installed the Giant Bomb plugin onto your Plex server, and then downloaded the Plex app
Give that a
for
shot.
PS4, you could do that. It's a lot of hoops. But
it's
it is doable.
One-time setup.
If you're already doing some of those steps, maybe that's doable.
Yep.
And that's going to do it for emails.
Cool.
And that's going to do it for the show.
That's going to kind of do it for the year in a way.
Yeah. For this podcast. So next week is Game of the Year week. It snuck up on me as well.
Don't worry, there's going to be lots of podcasts.
Oh yeah, there will be a podcast on Tuesday next week, and there will also be a podcast on Monday and Wednesday and Thursday and Friday, as we go through our Game of the Year presentation categories and such.
What do we pick?
Some videos on the night.
Tower Defense 5.
Oh, cool,
fantastic.
I can't believe EDF won.
I can't believe you just spoiled that here.
What?
Like that's
6 is overrated. I mean, we discussed this.
No, people are supposed to listen next week to hear about it. You just said it. This is live. We can't just edit this out.
This is live.
This is live.
I didn't know this one was live.
It's on the internet. See the lights?
Well, yeah, I thought that was for
kind of bright
visibility.
All right. Well, this week we're gonna try and run some streams during the week here. We're gonna
do some fun stuff.
Yeah, play some Mario Maker. We've been talking about getting back to it here for a long time.
Yeah.
We're gonna finally.
I booted it up yesterday for the first time on my own.
Hell yeah!
I didn't know you had to unlock a bunch.
Oh yeah, you have to unlock.
Yeah.
So if you turn it off and back on, actually legit. If you turn it off and change the timer on your Wii U, change the time on your Wii U and boot it back up.
We'll talk after
Yeah,
this.
it's doable. You can do it in an hour or something.
Great.
So yeah, we're gonna do that tomorrow. We're gonna run another live stream on Thursday, and then UPF on Friday. Is the current plan. So come hang out with us for that sort of stuff, and then
check out our website.
That's right. Check out our website, giantbomb.com. Next week we've got some fun videos and some fun deliberations and discussion about the year in video games, the year that was,
and some fun articles as well.
Yeah,
Guests are writing stuff.
some guest lists. I gotta get my top 10 together.
I'm not done yet.
I'm not done yet. Mine's
I think
close.
something crept in there that I wasn't expecting to.
Oh,
EDF.
EDF.
Yeah.
Pokemon Go.
Balloons TD5.
Actually,
God damn it, man. All right, so that's gonna do it. So yeah, and then we're in kind of a weird situation where the January 1st is also a Tuesday, and so we're gonna try to record something here this week that will run on the 1st. So if you've got emails for us, they will be on that January 1st show. We'll probably pull a bunch of emails. We'll probably pull some voicemails out of the after show.
That's right.
Bucket.
Do you want to give that number?
Cauldron. Oh, that's 707 exit flu, EXITFLU. Call that on a phone, leave a voicemail, and we'll pull that.
That's 707-394-8. God, this is hard.
Yeah.
Oh my God. 3 5 8. That was easy. Write that down.
Yeah, write down 358 and
this is hard.
and just call that number on a telephone.
Leave us a
and leave
voicemail.
us a voicemail.
We're gonna do that. Play some of those in a minute here.
Yeah, actually, yes. The after show will be coming up after this, which means half of the people in this room will leave and half of them will stay.
All the producers are leaving.
All the producers are leaving to go do real work on getting this show up.
We're gonna monkey around,
and then we're gonna fool about on the after show, take some calls, all that sort of stuff. That's on the separate podcast feed. If you're out there in your podcast app, Giant Bombcast Aftermath.
It's a good show.
It's a good show. It's fun. And then we got shit for sale. Store.giantbomb.com. Get some merchandise.
Go buy some shit.
Some hoodies. Some.
Give somebody a subscription for
That's
the
right.
holidays.
Yeah, gift subscription for the You got it's for the Christmas for the holidays.
We got trials too. Like if you want to give it a little.
Yeah, we got Trials 2 HD.
Wow.
For sale in the store. Do not tell Ubisoft that we were fucking.
We got like 6 copies.
We decided we were going to start a rogue fucking key reseller operation.
We are the man. That's how we got him.
Yeah.
I got the shirt just to prove that we are the man.
That's right. Yeah. What do we got in the store here? We got pins, we got shirts, we got hoodies.
Those pins are nice.
They're cool pins. And shot glasses, pint glasses, hats and whatnot. All that sort of stuff. If you order now, I do not think you will get it in time for Christmas. Let's just put that out there.
It's good.
Just gonna put
if you get a subscription,
but if you get a subscription,
you can get that right away.
That's immediate. That's what is that?
Fast shipping on that.
Giantbomb.com/upgrade. I think
Free
is the
shipping
page
on
for
that.
that. I have no idea.
yeah, free
That's
shipping.
right. Hey, free shipping this week only on our e-subscriptions, electronic subscriptions. All right. What do we say to sign off the show? Vape it up. I think that's the slogan, right?
And
Vape
we're
it up.
back.
And we're back.
And we're back.
Vape it up 2019. Back next. Do not vape.
So soppy socks.
Different spaghetti.
2019. Vaping is illegal. Get it in now. Don't get it in. Don't vape.
Get it out.
Get the vape out.